following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Fromaware, Bozen the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good evening, and welcome to Johnston High School as we get set for, believe it or not, week number 6 of the high school football season here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. My name is Mark Amadale. Thank you for joining us tonight. Matt Mandring, John Chido alongside as we get set for another high school football Friday night, Matt Mandring. And the rain so far has held off. We got moved up here in the press box because they brought their cameras in because they think there may be some rain, so we have that potential. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice night, 72 degrees at game time. The wind is kicked up, but here we are, Dowling and Johnston, both teams with 2-3 records. This is a very pivotal game for both.
It is a pivotal game, and last year, you remember what happened when Dowling came here last year. It didn't turn out very well, and it might have been the last game Johnston won last year. I don't remember. They had a rough stretch after it.
It was, you're right.
And so I think that's in the back of the Maroons' mind as they come into tonight's game, as this is one that they felt got away from them last year and they underperformed at, and so they're going to make sure they come in tonight and not to let that happen again.
Yep, they have a decent night as far as weather. They have a threat of rain. As a matter of fact, usually in the pregame show, all three of us are together, but John Chido is down on the Dowling sideline. And, Johnny, that wind might be a factor out of the south going for teams going right to left. And we'll find out the coin flip, but wind conditions might be a part of this game.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. It's gusting here about – right now it's sitting about 10 miles an hour, if I would guess. But it's going to pick up through the night. And it's perfect weather for football other than that wind gust. It's not hot. There won't be any cramping up from the kids. It's. I think fall has finally arrived.
Yeah, and it was probably a little drier than it was for you out in the golf course today, Johnny. I know you were at a charity golf outing, and you got a little rain down, so you're still drying out, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It came down pretty good at times.
Okay, well, hopefully.
Is that called work? Is that what that was today?
You had the afternoon off, Mr. Mandring. You know how that works.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't. I am going to get out there tomorrow, though.
For teachers, Johnny, it's called June, July, and August.
There we go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not for high school principals.
Not at all. Well, Matt, as you mentioned, last year the two teams met, and it was Johnston beating Dowling 18-15 here at Johnston Stadium. I think it was early in the year, like week 2, 3, or 4, somewhere in there. And Johnston did not win another game. They were banged up after that game, and it was kind of a mostly a defensive game, not a whole lot of points scored. Well, tonight, Johnston comes in here all banged up, mostly on the offensive side. They got a lot of new players playing on offense because of injury. The defense is getting healthier, and I know talking with Coach Brian Woodley, believe it or not, his 20th year here at Johnston High School. He's glad to get Cade Godwin back, number 33, is Sam linebacker. He may even start ahead of the young man who's scheduled to, Kaya Fox, number 29. But getting one of his linebackers back, Johnston defense is looking to kind of regroup it. Their secondary is questionable, and that's where you look at when you look at matchups. You look at, okay, who's healthy and where's the matchups at? And the Johnston defense getting a little healthier tonight. Yeah,
high school football, you're always 1 or 2 injuries away from not being, where you thought you would be. And, I know Johnston was a little thin as far as their depth chart overall coming into the season. But you're right. I mean, they get Godwin back, and that's a name we've said, I think, for 4 years. I mean, 3-year starter. Yep. And a heck of an athlete, and will make a difference. And just that leadership quality will bring, something to the table for him. In an offense, without Ruiz or I forget the young man's name, Jack Roots. With him on the sidelines, that's a big loss for Johnston, and that's tough to overcome at that key position.
Yeah, Rutz was a starting quarterback and punter to start the year out, a senior, and he tore his ACL. He completed 4 touchdowns and passing and 1 rushing, and then he got hurt against Urbandale the week before. They beat one of the top teams in the state in Cedar Falls. Cedar Falls right now ranked in the number 7, but they were in the top 4, and Johnston beat them at home, but then that's when everybody started getting hurt, and that's when Ruts went down the following week against Urbandale. So they haven't quite recovered from that, and they're looking to piece things together. And John Chiddle, if you're Brian Woodley and you're Johnston, you're looking at look what Dowling did last week. Maroons had 6 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, courtesy of Dante Cataldo, who got his a lot of playing time in. Maroons had a pick 6, a safety. And, Johnny, 2 players didn't get in last week, according to Coach Wilson. That was the 2 punters that didn't get in, and they were trying to get them in late. But
that's a good thing.
They had the running clock. It is a good thing. But how about those numbers to try to defend?
That's going to be tough, and especially as banged up as Johnston is with the injuries. I would imagine if I'm Coach Woodley, I want to control the clock, try to move the chains at a slower pace, and kind of control the tempo of this game. And that's kind of been Dowling's Achilles heel, is when Dowling gets out of their tempo, gets out of their control, and they're disrupted. Things don't go well for them. So if I'm Coach Woodley, that's what I'm going to try to accomplish tonight.
Sure. Tonight's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by our good friends at Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Kemen. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandry, and John Chiddle as we get set for the kickoff. 7 o'clock tonight will be kickoff here at Johnston High School. Dowling and Johnston, again, both teams with records of 2 and 3. Dowling ranked 10th, still at the top 10 with a losing record. That shows respect by some of the pollsters out there. There's like 4 pollsters out there, and that shows a lot of respect because the Maroons are on all 4 of those pollsters in the top 10. That shows respect, Mr. Mandring.
It does, and you get to the state championship that many years in a row and win it, and then fall just short last year in a strange year. It is respect. Who's played a harder schedule?
Sure.
The gauntlet that the Maroons have run through the first 4 weeks of the season was something else. And, to play the teams they have, and now to come up against Johnston here. And, you were talking about Johnston. I just can't get over the youth on the offensive side of the ball right now. You're starting a freshman at left or right guard. And, Jalen Pettis is probably sitting there just smiling, and so and I don't care. The kid could be talented as heck, but that's a big jump for a freshman.
Well, since you brought that up, Mr. Mandring, 2 seniors, 4 juniors, 4 sophomores, and the freshman on the offensive side of the football for Johnston. On the defensive side, a little bit more experience. 5 seniors. You include 6 if Godwin does get the start. 5 juniors and a sophomore. So the experience is on the defensive side, but John, as you mentioned, ball control by Coach Woodley. Well, they run that so-called shotgun offense, and it's run out of the shotgun. But basically, everybody's a receiver, and once in a while they'll sneak a tailback in. Menson Martin is now the tailback, replacing Blake Tubbs, who was out for the year with the ACL being torn. So we could see a lot of passing tonight.
Yeah, and the wind, like we talked about, could be a factor with that if it does start to pick up a little bit. And I would imagine, Dowling on their offensive side of the ball, they're going to want to do some things that they haven't been able to do this year and open up that passing game a little bit. Johnston on their side, I think they're going to try to run the football. Like you said, they're a shotgun offense with the passing offense, but I think they're going to try to establish the run a little bit and try to control that clock. I mean, that's what I would do if I'm going up against a stout Dowling defense.
Sure. All right. Well, let's talk about the matchups tonight, gentlemen, as we get into our pregame before we hear from head coach Tom Wilson about tonight's matchup with the Johnston Dragons. And the Johnston defense goes 5-2. They have a 5-2 front, but sometimes they'll go to a 4-3. And you know more about the verbiage and all that. Your thoughts on the matchup, and Dowling using 2 quarterbacks again, as we're going to see both Jake English and Dante Cataldo play at quarterback tonight.
Well, I think it's going to start up front, and Johnston's always created difficulties for Dowling on their defensive line because there's a lot of movement. They'll move guys around. They got that Sam backer that will be placed toward the strength, maybe toward the weak side. Anytime there's any type of movement up front, it creates problems for any offensive line. But then you have the X factor on the Johnston side, a guy named Grant Bossum. He knows this Dowling offense inside and out, and a great Dowling coach. He's over at Johnston now coaching the defensive line, and that's going to come into play tonight.
All right. And, Matt, the Johnston offense, the Shogun, they like to pass every down. Once in a while they'll run it to keep you honest, but they have a lot of inexperience there, starting with their quarterback, Adrian Brodas, who's just a sophomore. He'll hand off to a sophomore in the backfield potentially at times, but Mason Cornwell will play different spots, including tailback. against Dowling's defense. And you mentioned, Johnny kind of talked about the X factor with the Johnston defense, having Coach Bossum over there, your hallmate, along the hallways.
My workmate.
Yeah, your workmate. Well, now Grant's over there. What about the Dowling defense tonight against the Johnston offense that likes to spread you out?
Yeah, one thing is, how much time can they give the sophomore to throw the football? Drodis, and he's 48 of 99 so far for the year, 452 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So he hasn't turned it over very much.
Right.
It's a lot of quick passing. It's boom, get the ball out of your hands quick. And so it's going to put pressure. They try to spread our defense out, try to spread that Maroon defense out and take advantage of one-on-one. Then all you're waiting for is someone to miss. If someone breaks down and misses a responsibility out there in that passing game, then that's when they can take advantage. And we have to keep an eye on Woodley, number 11. He's got 240 yards for him, receiving a couple touchdowns, and Jacob Simpson's the other go-to person, has got 185 yards for him. And so They will create pressure on the edges and wait for you to fall asleep inside. Brodus isn't a runner, and so you don't have that factor going on. So that frees up your linebackers to make sure that you don't have to spy the quarterback. You can just go do your things and it's read keys and be in position.
All right. Well, we'll be monitoring other games tonight along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. We want to thank Jeff Pickett for being back at the saddle, our studio producer here on Iowa Catholic Radio tonight. So we'll take a break as you're listening to the pregame show before tonight's game. Dowling on the road at Johnston tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff. I caught up with head coach Tom Wilson yesterday, and we'll have that conversation coming up next here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
In 3, 1. Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. I'm Mark Hamadale, now joined by head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling Catholic on the road tonight for week 6 of the high school football season, Dowling at Johnston. Coach Wilson, once again, thanks for joining us tonight before the Johnston game.
Thank you, Mark.
Coach, hard to believe, we're week 6, we're midway through the season, and it's Dowling and Johnston, the team that handed you your only regular season loss last year, a defensive struggle. I would say tonight could be possibly the same thing. Both teams' defenses really lead each other's teams, but a great matchup tonight with Dowling and Johnston.
Yeah, it should be. They beat us a year ago over here, and on a night where they played pretty well, and we didn't, and we can't afford any more of those. So really, the pressure's on us.
Well, Coach, we kind of reminisced a little bit about last week, a 58-7 win over Council Bluffs Lincoln, a game that Dowling led 44-0 at halftime, and got a lot of kids in. 6 rushing touchdowns, a safety, a pick 6, and a passing touchdown, and no punts in that contest. That's pretty good Friday night.
That is really the only 2 kids that didn't play in the ballgame were the 2 punters, and so I guess probably not for them, but for the rest of us, that's a good thing. But no, we did what we had to do. We were a little bit overmatched, or they were in some spots, and I thought our kids came out and executed and did a really nice job.
Well, Coach, offensively, you just kind of named, no matter who was leading you or which quarterback, whether it was Jake English or Dante Cataldo, they both did a nice job running the offenses. Running backs did a nice job, and I think you got to go pay homage to the offense and defensive line. Offensive line really got things moving against Council Bluffs Lincoln. They did, and it was a little bit of the style of defense that AL played. I mean, it kind of set up pretty well with the things that we like to do, and honestly, they didn't do anything special to try to take that away. So that certainly worked to our benefit. Offensive line, I thought, was in control for us throughout. I thought both quarterbacks had good nights, and it was kind of good to get Dante a little bit more involved in our offense, which we may see more of that moving forward. Well, Coach, in the second half, you got a lot of kids in. I think you wanted to see that, besides seeing them playing JV games on Monday. Jack Moore and Hunter Crutchlow got a pair of rushing touchdowns in the second half. And your defense, your number 3s and 4s were playing against their number 1s. Late in the game, they scored with like 3 seconds left to avoid the shutout. But you had your number 2s, 3s, and whatever 4s going against their number 1s throughout most of that second half. We certainly did. And to be honest with you, in the third series of the ballgame, we were substituting, and especially on defense. So, that's the clock that keeps going is tough, and that makes you hustle, and you want to reward these kids for all the work that they've put in, but then you've got to try to play some other kids and try to get good looks. So it's a balancing act for sure, but it certainly went, as we mentioned, everybody but the punters in, and the kids did a great job. Well, one of your senior captains, Adam Townsend, starting linebacker, got a rushing touchdown, and he also got a pick 6. Now, you thought that only happened back in Dayton, New Hartford days, where you had to play a lot of guys both ways, but it happened last Friday night, and Adam's one we talked to in the postgame show. Tremendous athlete, tremendous captain, and what a night for him. Adam's a good football player for us, and he's one of those kids, one of the few that we do use both ways a little bit. Really, offensively, it's in spots. Defensively, he's a big part of what we do, but had a good night for him, and he would tell you all he does is make touchdowns, and that's basically what he does with all of his carries plus the pick 6. I just want to know if that touchdown runs have been 15 yards, both the interception, the pick 6, and his rushing touchdown. That'll probably be 50 yards in about 20 years, Coach. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Coach, anything to take away from the game last week? Somebody that you want to mention that obviously that maybe Coach Chido, Coach Mandring, and I missed last week when you break down film study? Or some of the other kids that stood out that maybe we didn't get mentioned? I pinpointed Cataldo a little bit earlier, but I thought kids like Jimmy Wanick came in and did a nice job for us defensively. Ben Hugrich is a really valuable person on our team and lends depth to our defense, is a really good special teams player. And so there's several of those kids that we really count on that came in and did a nice job and got significant playing. Visit with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game. It's Dowling at Johnston tonight. Both teams with records of 2-3. This is Mark Hamadale. I'll return with Coach Wilson. We'll talk with the Johnston Dragons as our pregame show continues here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Welcome back to the Pre-Radio Network. Mark and Dale continue my conversation with head coach Tom Wilson. Tonight it's Dowling at Johnston in week 6 of the high school football season, with both teams with records of 2-3. And Coach Wilson, preview the match tonight, the game tonight against Johnston. Dragons off to a 2-3 start. They had some nice wins. They upset Cedar Falls, and they lost a tough one, and they lost their quarterback against Urbandale, the 2 ranked teams they played thus far. So looking forward to a good game. Your thoughts on the matchup with Johnston?
I think Johnston's really well coached. They've had their injury issues, as you know. We can relate to them about the quarterback situation, and the Roots kid, their quarterback, is a good player, and it's unfortunate that happened for him. But, our job is to expect a ton of scoring. As you mentioned earlier, both defenses have done a pretty good job throughout the course of the year, and I think they're very well coached on that side of the ball.
Well, Coach, the Dowling offense going against Johnston's defense. Johnston plays, they call it a 5-2 over, but basically it's kind of a 4-3. And talk about that matchup. And also, you mentioned the shared quarterback duties, Jake English and Dante Cataldo. Will that be more the same what we saw last week against Council Bluffs Lincoln, or will there be some changes there?
I think their defense itself, I think their linebackers are very solid. Their defensive ends, I think, are good. Their safeties are very involved in the run game. And so, that really prevents, many big plays in the run game. And so, we have to complement that run game with an effective pass game, which last week it looked good. The 2 previous weeks prior to that did not. And so we're going to have to execute that part of our offense as well. I would expect you'll see something similar at the quarterback position as what we had a week ago.
And for the Dowling defense, they've done a nice job this year, Coach. They've been on the field maybe a little bit too long at times, but nonetheless, they've really stepped up. Maroons have forced, 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions on the season. And to face this Johnston offense, which really they haven't changed through all their personnel, they basically have 4 or 5 receivers, empty backfield, and they got a young quarterback, Adrian Brodus, who's a sophomore who took over for the starter Jack Rutz, who's out for the year with an ace. What does the Johnston offense present to the Dowling defense?
Well, they're going to try and throw the ball around a little bit more than probably what we're used to. They've got a backup running back who's not a bad player. The quarterback is mobile. I could see him run around quite a bit. I think they threw it 40 times a week ago, and so we could see very much the same thing. So it creates some challenges for us, but if we can get some pressure on the quarterback, that'll certainly help us.
All right. Well, Coach, there's a lot of the sports are kind of winding down, and as I shared with you earlier, talked to head coach Mary Beth Wiskus, the Dowling volleyball coach. Hard to believe she's been here as many years. She's over 10 years here and does a great job in the state tournament all of her years. And had a great conversation with her. But postseason starting to probably be effective in golf first and then the other sports.
Yeah, and Mary Beth does a wonderful job. We're lucky to have her leading that program. And, really girls swim and dive has been having a good year. And and as you mentioned, golf, and really we've done a good job. It's been fun to watch the teams progress, and we just have to keep plugging along and be at our best in the postseason.
All right, Coach. Well, I know you're looking towards that. You got 3 regular season games left after tonight, so you want to be in a position. And best of luck. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you during halftime and during the postgame.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Coach Tom Wilson's here on the pregame show. It's Dowling and Johnston tonight from Johnston High School. Coming up, Matt Mandring and John Chad will rejoin the broadcast. This is Mark Amadale, and you're listening to the pregame show before tonight's Dowling-Johnston game here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Did you know when you support Iowa Catholic Radio, you can make your donation go farther by asking your employer about matching gifts? Ask your employer about matching gifts, and thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education. Tuition assistance to help you afford it your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Johnston High School alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale as we have final comments before the kickoff. The marching band of Johnston on the field. It's Dowling and Johnston in week 6. Matt, it's week 6 of the high school football. It's a 9-week regular season. Can you believe we only have
some
a few
teams
more
have
Fridays?
8, right? You get down the smaller division.
That's true. It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. And it's a lot of fun. You get to the 1st of October and things really start to crank up. You know, it's that time of year, and you start thinking about postseason and everything else.
That's right.
The Maroons have work to do before to get there this year. They've dug themselves a little bit of a hole, but they can take another step in that direction tonight.
That's certainly true. John Chidle's on the Dowling sideline. And, Johnny, any last-minute changes that you've seen in warm-ups? Obviously, it's an exciting night. Dowling fans filled the stands over there, and they got a great student body. Where'd the yellow or gold come from?
It's neon.
Where's that about?
You have to ask Coach Maindring about the neon. I don't know where that came from, but
it's neon night. I saw that.
Neon night. Okay,
there you go. All right, I'll let you off.
Your son would know that, wouldn't he?
Well, who knows about that? But anyway, no.
John Henry, his son, was testing the equipment with me before you sat down up here. Everything worked except what I did during the coaches segment. But
good.
All right. Well, let's take a break and. Before we take a break, Matt Maindring, your keys to the game. Give me a couple keys out there as our keys to the game are presented by our good friends at Catholic United Financial, providing life insurance, Medicare supplement insurance, retirement annuities, and much more online at CatholicUnitedFinancial.org. Coach?
I think the key for tonight for this Dowling defense to mature, they're really good. They have to create more turnovers. And in order, against the good teams, they did not do that very often in the first part of the year. They need to create more opportunities, get the offense some short fields. That's what I'm looking for tonight.
All right. And we're hoping for a dry night. We had a little bit of rain today.
Yeah.
This is a turf field, beautiful facility here at Johnston High School. Year 3, I think.
This is a great facility.
Just gorgeous. So, all right, we're going to come back with the kickoff. It's Dowling and Johnston here at Johnston High School. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Ryan Andrew coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Johnston High School. It's week 6 of the high school football season here on Iowa Catholic Radio alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale, and we're set for kickoff. Dowling will kick off. They'll have the wind at their back. They'll be going right to left, but Johnston will receive, and they'll be receiving, defending the north end zone. And let's take a look at the Johnston offensive starters as Maroons get set to kick off. Diego Leon will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. At quarterback is Adrian Brodus, yes, a sophomore, 5'11", 175 pounds. And at tailback is Menson Martin for Johnston. He wore number 20, a 5'8" sophomore at 165 pounds. Wide receivers, Mason Cordwell, a senior, Rex Woodley, a junior, Sean Strand, a junior, and Jacob Simpson, the 6'5" sophomore. That's their tallest receiver they have. And then their offensive line, left tackle, Anthony Kiatumba, Jackson Mueller, the left guard, R.J. Jordan, the center, Nick Darling, the right guard, and Jay Mucinich, the 6'4" right tackle. And now Diego Leon addresses the ball and runs away. High end-over-end kick, and it'll force Johnston into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 Dragons as they start Matt Maindring on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Leon got that ball up in the air, and with the wind behind it, easily made it to the end zone to get the touchback, and so the ball would be placed on the 20. And let's see how this, the Dowling defensive front works against this young offensive line. And, with Jalen Pettis and Cody Hikas there up front with Chase Patton, those three creating havoc out front, and Owen Weber and Joe Reed, Kelly Shimon, Adam Townsend, and Joe Hughes. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, that line play will be real interesting. We'll watch throughout the game. Now Brodus on the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looking downfield, fires across, and the pass is caught. A short gain up the 25-yard line, and that is Mason Papasel. And let's see, a gain of 5. Nice little, he rolled out, and he held on to the ball a long time.
He did. All the action went to the left, and he rolls out to the right, and it's a naked boot leg, and he's out there, had plenty of time waiting for the tight end to drag all the way across.
Here's the snap, and the give is to the tailback. That's Mason Cornwell, and he is swallowed up right at the 27-yard line, a gain of 2, so it'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Dragons as we're underway here at Johnston.
Running into the teeth of that defense, it's going to be a tough haul for Johnson. That's a play right there just to keep him honest, more or less. And so I think you get to this point, and everyone's a passing down, 3rd down.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 3 as Johnson going left to right into the wind. Back to throw is Brodus. Now fakes the throw. Now wants to run, and he's going to keep it, trying to get outside the numbers. He's got the 1st down, and he runs out of bounds at the 33-yard line. A penalty flag down after a gain of 6.
Might be a block in the back, coming back towards the football there. Brodus went all the way across the formation. Doesn't like to leave the pocket very much.
Number 11.
Yeah.
10-yard penalty.
Rex Woodley, the coach's son, guilty of the block in the back, as you called, Matt.
Yeah, and it allowed Brodus ran right down the line of scrimmage, and then it allowed him to get out of bounds and make the 1st down. So the penalty creates a 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, back at the 22-yard line is where they spot the foul. Or spot the line of scrimmage after the foul. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Brodus back to throw. Now rolls to his left, fires it into the Dowling bench, incomplete, and 4th down coming up for Johnston. Had a good recognition by that young sophomore quarterback for Johnston. He knew he had nothing over there, and they must have had probably 1 receiver, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And he just dumped it off and lived for another day.
They rolled him to the narrow side of the field, so he didn't have much room to operate, and all he saw was Chase Patton coming after him and said, I'm getting rid of it out of bounds, keep the distance, and bring the punter on.
And the punter is Carson Hansen. He'll receive the snap from Aiden Ackelson. He'll stand right about his 10-yard line. Gets a good snap, high, end-over-end punt into the wind. It forces Cooper Nicholson to go back to let it roll, and it takes a Dowling bounce, hits it at the 30, and rolls up to the 36-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will start, 1st and 10 from their own 36. With 10 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, 1st quarter, no score. The Dowling offense out there for the first time. Let's go down to our first report during the game to John Scheidel on the Dowling sideline.
Well, Brodus, the Johnston quarterback, showed that he can run with the football. He's got some speed. He was able to break that pocket and made a nice move. And an unnecessary block in the back neglected that 1st down effort and put him behind the chains, and Johnston was forced to punt.
It certainly did. Thank you, John. As Jake English at quarterback, and he gives to his tailback, and right up the gut he goes and gets about across the 40-yard line, maybe 4 or 5 yards. They're going to give him 5. Nice run that time by tailback Cam Middleton.
Cam Middleton hit that inside seam and that inside zone play, and got the offensive line a great push on the right side there. That's left guard Cade Batterton, Kyle Rockers. On the left side was Gabe Carey and George Nahas on the right side there.
All right, 2nd down play, and they give it to the tailback. He's got the 1st down across the 45, and Bulls is way up near the 49-yard line. What 2nd effort? And did they keep Cam in there?
I believe so.
I think they did.
Yeah, that looks like a Cam run. When you see the whole line moving like that, that's a Cam run.
Cam stands
at
5'11", 200 pounds. 1st down Dowling at the 49. Back to throw is English, fires it out on the far sideline, and it's caught down to the 45-yard line of Johnson. A nice little reception that time by Cooper Nicholson.
That's a quick take. That's where he is really good at getting rid of that ball quick, and then getting down the field and moving the offense, getting him into a rhythm early is a big thing.
Now we have a penalty called on the play. And that stops the clock with 9:36 remaining. So
I didn't see.
I didn't. John, again, what was that all about? We didn't catch the penalty flag or the penalty assessed.
I think it was a spot of the football. I didn't see a flag or a penalty thrown, so I'm really sure.
Oh, they called it incomplete.
They ruled a completion to Nicholson. Now it's just back to the 49. So Maroons back to the ground gain. Hand off to Cam Middleton. He's got the first down all the way down to the 40-yard line between the tackles, Matt. That's good hard-nosed football right there.
There was a great crease there between Batterton and Rockers, and Cam hit it going full steam and ran over the first guy on his way to a first down.
So first down Maroons. Line of scrimmage is the Johnston 40. As Jake English gets to start at quarterback, fakes the handoff, fires it out, and it's caught on the far sideline. And that is Carson Brown, the reception. And he tries to get up to the first down. He's going to be spotted shy at the 32-yard line, gain of 8.
Good throw there by Jake again, and just over the outreach hand of a defender from Johnston who undercut the pass. And Carson Brown gets it, picks it out of the sky, and gets up there to about the, what would you say, 8 yards?
32-yard line, yep. So it'll be a 2nd and 2 for the Maroons. Dowling will go with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the wide side to the left. Jake English at quarterback. He's got Cam Middleton in the backfield. And this time the handoff goes to Middleton, and he tries to get over right guard, right tackle. Tries to get outside, and he's hit and dropped. Nice job by the interior line of the Johnston defense to make the stop.
Yeah, that time the Johnston defense rolled over towards Cam and was able to stand him up. Cam got squared up and couldn't get the power going to get that last half yard.
Gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. The Maroons go back to the ground gain, and the ball carrier is Middleton again. He puts his head down. First down Dowling at the 28 of Johnston.
Quick hitter, Dowling get up to the line quickly and gets the ball into Cam's hands as the offensive line explodes off again, running behind Gabe Carey and bag and toss on the right side of the line.
All right, 1st and 10 Maroons from the 28 of Johnston. No score. English on play action fires it out left side. This thing is caught by Cooper Nicholson. Slips a tackle inside the 20, inside the 10, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line, but a penalty flag thrown right inside the 15-yard line there, Matt.
Yeah,
First down Maroons.
I didn't even see anybody down there blocking, but there must have been a block in the back probably down there. We'll wait and see here.
We'll get the call here.
After the reception, we have a hold on the offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty from the spot. We keep first down.
They'll give Jalen Thompson a Dowling tight end with the hold after the catch. So instead of being a 20-yard gain down to the Johnston 8, this will all come back and it'll be spotted 10 yards from the foul. And they'll move it. It must be the 12-yard line they spotted it, so they'll move the ball back to the 22-yard line.
Cooper Nicholson did a great job of breaking the first initial tackle on that play and getting the yards after the catch.
1st and 4 for Dowling. The give is to Middleton, and he's stacked up right over center. Nice job by the interior line of the Johnston defensive line. They were all over that.
Yeah, Gate Godwin. You know, Godwin, we've said his name so much over the years, and there he was.
Starter.
Yeah, first on the scene right there.
So that puts it 2nd and 5 Maroons. Handoff once again to Middleton. Now this time he has running room outside the right tackle and angles his way towards the right hash, and he's got the first down inside the 10. They'll spot him down at the 8-yard line. And that's a big run that time for Cam. And Maroons going hurry up.
Yeah, they're going in hurry up here. Cam got out to the edge and got squared up and really bounced it outside, made a nice run.
All right, here's the handoff again. This time they'll keep it on the ground. C.J. Phillip in there, the second tailback, and he carries it. Same play that Cam ran, and gets it down to the 5 for a gain of 3.
That's one of those things. You see a play that works, you run it again.
You don't need to call another one.
You don't need to call another one. Just run it again.
So
different back, just same thing.
Yep, and it's 2nd and 5. Again, they work the short side, and they bring in C.J. Phillip. And C.J. inside the 5, they're going to spot him down at the 3. And the Maroons are just shy of the goal line. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 3. The offense is running quickly here. They must have seen something on tape, not letting Johnston get set.
Here's a snap. The give right up the middle. C.J. Phillip puts his head down, and he runs into a wall right at the 1-yard line. A gain of 2, and it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 1 for Dowling. Decision time for head coach Don Wilson.
It's interesting here because I want to see which official spots the ball because they got one standing on the 2 and one standing on the 1. They're going to spot it on the 2. Here they go.
Right, it's on the 2. English on play action, on the read option. He gives it to the tailback, and he stood up at the 4-yard line. He'll lose yardage. and that's C.J. Phillip. He'll lose a yard.
Ian Dolan, 6'1", 250-pound senior defensive tackle for the Johnston Dragons, got in there and stopped C.J. Phillip even before he had any momentum going, and big fourth down play for the Dragons.
Minus 2 yards on the play, so Johnston will take over deep in their own territory at their own 4-yard line. John Shiloh Maroons wanted to keep the ball on the ground, and they did. The defensive line for Johnston met the challenge.
Yeah, they had 7 guys in the box, double A gap, and both defense linemen shot the gap and hit CJ in the backfield before he even had a chance to get going.
Yeah, and good job by the Johnston defense. Now on first down, the Dragons will keep the ball on the ground. They'll hand it to their tailback, Minson Martin, deep in the zone.
Yeah,
and the line of scrimmage is their own 4-yard line. Let's see where they put it down.
Pretty good spot right there.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play. Didn't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage for Johnston to run out of this situation here, and so you expect a quick pass out to this right side here where they have the twins out here.
All right, the sophomore Adrian Brodus at quarterback for Johnston sets up in his own end zone out of the shotgun. The give is to the tailback, and he gets it up to the 5-yard line. It's Cornwell again, just trying to get their offense some room, and a gain of 1 will bring up 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, and I want to say that was Joe Hughes on that stop right there. Oh, Adam Townsend on the stop right there for the Maroons, and met him in the hole, and brings up 3rd and long situation deep in their own territory.
Well, deep in your own territory, what is a 3rd and long play? Like a draw play? I mean,
yeah,
that's a close...
something safe. You just don't want to throw an interception right here or throw something that you're gambling on the side with.
All right, here's Brodus. Stands on his own goal line. The line of scrimmage is a 5. Almost a high snap, and Brodus got it down and gives it to his tailback. And that's Cornwell again, and no gain will bring up 4th and 8 for Johnston from their own 5-yard line.
And kind of what we expected there for a play. They do the quick draw. You called it. And now they will have their punter standing at the back of the end zone to try and create some space. And, Dowling going for it on 4th down right there at the goal line shows they have a lot of confidence in their defense.
And maybe their punt return team, because they have twin safeties back there. Cooper is one of them, Cooper Nicholson. And the second safety over. High snap, but the punter corrals it, and that's Hansen. Gets it away. It's a low line drive kick, and now it just dies at the 30, right into the wind. It'll roll to the 35. So Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from the Johnston 35-yard line with 3:56 remaining. First quarter, no score here at Johnston High School. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. And Dowling sideline is on the east side of the stadium, across the field from us in the press box, and that is where John Chido is at. Johnny?
Well, Jalen Pett is coming off of his defensive end position there. He is getting so far into that backfield. It's almost as he's making the tackle as the ball is being handed off. He's been doing a great job.
All right, Dowling on first down, and a quick pass over to Carson Brown to the right side of the formation, and it's complete for inside the 30, shy of the first down at the 27 of Johnston.
Right now, Johnston's giving the Dowling offensive receivers such a cushion that quick hitter is there every time, and so what they're doing is they're just driving them off a little bit, come back, and get the quick shot to them.
All right, here is English back to throw. Fires into the end zone, and he overthrew everybody, incomplete. Jake had a little bit of pressure on him as Johnston brought a linebacker, an extra linebacker, and that was J.J. Shaw, or rather Mason Cornwell, who plays at Mike linebacker, and he got in the backfield.
Yeah, he did. And another one of those kids that plays both ways, but created the pressure there. They took the shot deep. Now they're going to go on 3rd here.
3rd and 2, and it's C.J. Phillip with it, and I think he's inside the 25. He's picked up the first down.
We haven't seen this formation in a while. I think the last time we saw this was a couple years ago where they had 2 running backs up. This was direct snap to C.J. Phillip playing the quarterback position.
It certainly was. It was a direct snap.
Or was it Cam?
No, it was Phillip. C.J. picks up the first down, Dowling with the ball as we're approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Ball's on the 23-yard line, first down Maroons. Hand off again to Phillip. He works the right side, and they're really working up Gabe Carey, George Nahas, right guard and right tackle, respectively, along with Badgenstas. And short gain that time for Phillip.
You're exactly right, Mark. They are working that right side of the line right now, and they see something over there that they're trying to take advantage of. And that time, Waukee did adjust that way, and you have to see if you get the same look, and Dowling trying to come back the other way now.
All right, 2nd and 9 Maroons, and here's English. Now the play is now blown dead, and we've got a penalty on the play. We'll get the call from the official.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, till second down.
It's one of those plays where you're saying, let it go, let's let them take a shot. That's the NFL. You let the play go.
High school, it's a dead ball. NFL, you play on,
and
you take the result. So first penalty against Johnston. That'll move the ball to about the 17-yard line. We'll call it of Johnston, and now they give it to C.J. Phillip. And he gets down to about the 15-yard line. A little too much east-west running there.
Yeah.
You want to see him go head north is where Dowling's going, and he's finally corralled right about the 16-yard line, a short gain on the play.
Yeah, the creases aren't so big inside, so he wants to bounce it to the edge there a little bit, and just not any room up there right now. Is currently they've got 8-9 guys in the box.
Hand off once again, and that is Phillip, and he's near a first down. Depends on where he gets it spotted at. He's inside the 15, and they're going to.
That last reach may have got it, and they're going to call it fourth down.
Yeah, they got it fourth down. Dowling has to get to the 13.
Well, they're going to measure it.
And the ball is on the 14. I thought we didn't measure because the fields
the
are
lines.
all marked correctly.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's game on Iowa
and they're flat, they're smooth.
Yeah. I'd like you guys to go out during PE class and do that in the afternoon. That was your afternoon activity, and you still got it wrong.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Northwest Bank, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Let's go down to John Chido. And, John, what are you seeing down there? Dowling really liking that right side of the offensive line against Johnston's defense.
Yeah, they're trying to go quick. You're seeing a lot of inside zone, a lot of two-back, short passes, a lot of power where they're pulling the backside guard. You mentioned it, Mark. More north-south. If they can hit that holes a little bit, you're going to get a little bit more yardage.
All right, 4th and 1. Dowling goes for it, and once again, tripped up in the backfield is the Dowling running back, and a nice job by Johnston. They had Cade Godwin, who's back off the injury list, making the stop, and no gain in the play, actually a loss of 1, and Dowling will once again turn the ball over on downs.
Right there, they brought both linebackers off the edge and got to the backfield. Now this is Coach Bossum right here, and they brought both backers off the edge, beat Cam to the line of scrimmage, and got him in the backfield. So,
well, Johnston will take over deep in their own territory, 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Minute 28 remaining here in the first quarter. Quarterback is Adrian Brodus, a sophomore. He's got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 in the backfield. Now Brodus rolls to his right, still rolling, fires downfield. The ball is tipped and intercepted by the Maroons. Picked off by Jake Anderson inside the 25, and the return is to the 16-yard line.
We said, this was the key, one of those keys of the game early is can you get that turnover? And right there, English comes up, or
Jake
Anderson comes up with it, and off a tip ball. And it's one thing for the sophomore Brodus. He had the guy early. He had a guy early and then waited because he had time.
Sure.
He wasn't rushed, and then waited until there was pressure and made a little bit of an errant throw, a little high.
Well, 9 seconds later, after Johnston takes over, Dowling takes the ball over at the Dragon 16. The Maroons now will alternate quarterbacks as Dante Cataldo in there in the read option, and he gives it to the tailback, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you what, Johnston defensive line is winning that battle. The ball carrier that time was C.J. Phillip for the Maroons.
Ian Dolan again, the 6'1", 250-pound senior, in on the play, and he shot the gap there, kind of untouched from that defensive line position and in the backfield before C.J. could get much of a run at all.
So in comes Cam Middleton. As the Maroons change their personnel a little bit. Split out wide to the right will be Carson Brown. Cooper Nicholson slot right. The tight end is Jalen Thompson on the left. They send a man in motion. They give it to Middleton, and Cam, looking for a hole, puts his head down and crawls his way inside the 15, all the way down the 12-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards.
Good, strong run. There wasn't anything there. They had it botched up. They had it blocked up early, and he just kept bouncing, kept his hips squared north and south, found the crease, and exploded for 5.
Maroons had Cam Middleton in there and C.J. Phillip in there, and they moved Phillip as in motion from this tailback spot and just laterally to the right. So we'll see. Now Gokenauer back in the Dowling offense, And here is Dante Cataldo in the read option. He'll keep it. He dives forward. He's got the first down at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Maroons. Nice run that time by Dante Cataldo. He takes it down to about the 10-yard line or so is where they have it spotted.
They run the tailback. Oh, that's the end of the quarter there, Mark.
It is. It's been a
I
quick
can't see
quarter.
the scoreboard sitting where I'm at.
They don't have one on your side.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of the first quarter with the score. No score. Dowling and Johnston, and the Maroons knocking on the door. They're in the Bozeman de Flores red zone. We'll talk more as the Maroons will have a first and goal at the 10 when we return here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, I'm Deacon Mike Mano.
And I'm Gina Knoll. Faith on Trial examines the influence of law and society on people of faith. Follow the Faith on Trial Facebook page for upcoming guests and issues.
Join us every Thursday at 10 for Faith on Trial.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Johnston High School as we start the second quarter. No score. Dowling and Johnston. Maroons knocking on the door. Now the read option. They get Dante Cataldo. He faked it to the tailback, and he gets hit and dropped from the 10-yard line. And going to spot it back from the 11. So he'll lose a yard on the play as Dowling now in the Bozeman de Flores red zone. 515-244 Rose. Bozeman makes the moment mean more. And, Matt, Dowling knocking on the door to see if they can punch it in.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of run blitzing right now. We're going to force the Maroons to pass.
Here's Cataldo. Throws it in the end zone. The ball is caught. Touchdown, Carson Brown. And he high-pointed that. The safety or the cornerback went up for it for Johnston, and he out-leaped him. Touchdown, Maroons.
Cataldo put that ball right where the only place that Brown could get to it and not the defender. Well-thrown ball, throws it out of the end zone essentially, and Brown goes up and gets it. And it was J.J. Shaw was the defender in front and just couldn't get to it. And Brown makes a nice catch. Maroons on the board.
Yes, they are. Now the extra point by Diego Leon. Jake English will hold. Ball is down, and the extra point attempt is up and good. So Dowling now striking first, leading 7-0 here in the second quarter with 11:23 remaining. We'll take a break and come back. You're listening to Dowling Catholic High School Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Amazon Smile is a simple way to support Iowa Catholic Radio. When you are shopping on Amazon, consider shopping through Amazon Smile instead. You get all the same great deals, and your order will also help support Iowa Catholic Radio. All you need to do is choose Iowa Catholic Radio as your nonprofit to support when you first log in, and Amazon will do the rest. Every Amazon Smile order you make, Amazon will donate to Iowa Catholic Radio. Support Iowa Catholic Radio while you shop at smile.amazon.com. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
It can be easy to forget about the dignity of another when we disagree with their ideas or actions. We start to focus on the things that make us different, and the thoughts start to divide us. Before we reach the conclusion of those thoughts, we must pause and remind ourselves that person with a different idea or lifestyle has great dignity. The next time you find yourself ready to go toe-to-toe with someone, remember that they have dignity and deserve respect, even when we disagree.
And we're back here at Johnston High School after the Dowling touchdown that was set up by the Maroon interception. Jake Anderson, Matt, with the interception, and returned it to the Johnston 15, and now the kickoff by Leon. It's a short kick fielded by one of the upbacks at the 21-yard line and trying to get outside, and he's going down about the 26-yard line on the return. So Johnston will have it first and 10 from right in that neck of the woods as the return was by Cade Caffrey. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido's at. Johnny?
Well, Dante Cataldo had Carson Brown one-on-one coverage there down by the goal line. He threw a back shoulder fade and threw it in a great spot where Carson could go ahead and high point the football, and made a tremendous catch. Nice pitch and catch by both Dante and Carson.
Absolutely. And, of course, that's all made possible by the interception that set up that. And now Johnston back on the ground, and they hand it off to their tailback. And that might be Mason Cornwell.
Yeah, it looks like Cornwell.
Yeah, it is. They've had Cornwell and Martin in there.
Yeah, and a little misdirection in there, and he cut back against a grain and had a little seam up the middle there, and that nice gain on first down.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and 4 as the Dragons now on their own 32-yard line. Read option. This time they give it once again to Mason Cornwell. Cornwell's a slot receiver, but he's also the second-string quarterback, and he's relieving Menson Martin, who started the game at tailback, and he carries it up to the 35 for a gain of 3.
And they pulled 2 guys from the right side over to the left side right there. Dowling read it well, had 2 guys stopped up there and allowed the short gain, and now it is 3rd and 1.
Quarterback is Adrian Brodus. He is a sophomore. Brodus on the read option, gives it to his tailback, and he's up near a first down. They're going to stop the clock, and he may have picked it up, and that's Cornwell again, Mason Cornwell. The lone senior in the skill positions for the Johnston offense, Matt. 5'9", 160-pound senior. He's got 3 sophomores and 2 juniors with him.
Yeah, there's a lot of inexperience out there, and they're going hurry up here.
Yes, they are. Now, Brodus on the pass over the middle, and what happened?
They're going to call interference on Dowling.
Flag down at the midfield, and we'll get the call. As Brodus with the pass to his intended receiver.
Number 33 on the defense, 15 yards.
Noah Seamer whistled for the interference there, Matt.
Yeah, he was a little early grabbing the receiver, and ends up he really didn't need to because the ball wasn't going to be catchable, and just made the contact a little early.
So Johnston now with the first down in Dowling territory for the first time tonight at the Dowling 48. And they are going hurry up as they interchange their players. Johnston with the first down. 10 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. And it's 7-0 Dowling over Johnston here on a pretty good night weather-wise. And now they'll run the jet sweep with their Wilmot Manet. He's one of the fastest guys in the team. He's one of the soccer players that came out, and he's been returning kickoffs. And that time they put him on the jet sweep, but he couldn't get the corner turn, and be no gain on the play. Back to the they're going to spot at the 47, gain of 1.
Gain of 1. Hugerich out there playing the safety position, came up and made a nice play on that to get him stopped and string that out. And that was the big thing. They just kept stringing it out.
So it's 2nd and 9 for Johnston as Brodus. And now the reverse pass. They'll throw it downfield. Will Cornwell, and he's got a man open inside the 20, and it's caught by Jacob Simpson for the first down.
Yeah, here you had
nice pass that time.
Watching the Iowa City game, they must have said, well, this is one thing that Dowling has trouble with. So they did the reverse pass and hand it off going to the right, come back to the left with the receiver, and he throws it deep down the field.
And it's first down. Johnston at the Dowling 12-yard line. Now they throw a little pass to the near sideline. Caught by Woodley. And Rex is hit out of bounds. So I'm going to put him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Joe Reed up there for the Maroons making the first hit and keeping the gain to a minimum, even a loss of a yard, it looks like here, as the Johnston wants to hurry up this ball game and not let Dowling get set up on defense.
Yep, loss of 1 officially. I thought they spotted him with forward progress, and now here is Brodus, and the give is to the tailback, Cornwell, and Mason up the middle, and he's inside.
Broke through the
10, still
loose.
on the ground. They're going to call the ball carrier down, but where?
At the 5.
5-yard line,
like, yeah.
So gain of 8.
Nice run up the middle there for Johnston as they're getting a little more misdirection. They're with the lead. They're pulling guys and getting that seal block on the Dowling defense and creating some creases in there for Martin to run.
8-yard gain, and
this is Cornwell.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 now for Johnston. The quarterback remains Adrian Brodus. And he does a check with me. His tailback will be Mason Cornwell. Here's the snap, and he hands it off to Cornwell, and he's going to be brought down the backfield, back to about the 8-yard line. He'll lose 3 yards. He'll lose what he gained the play before.
Yeah, they ran that to the strong side there, and Jalen Pettis is just waiting. And Jalen Pettis stood him up and dropped him right at the spot of contact, and Johnston's going to run the field goal unit onto the field.
Yeah, they'll attempt a 25-yard field goal. They're going right to left, south to north. The wind is at their back. And attempting the field goal will be Carson Hansen. The ball is up, and the kick is good. So a 25-yard field goal by Carson Hansen is good. And it's 7-3, Dowling with the lead over Johnston with 7.5 minutes remaining second quarter. Back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Clinic for Underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
All right, here is the kickoff by Johnston. It goes out of bounds, or it goes back to the end zone, rather. And Dowling will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. That Johnston drive, 10 plays, 73 yards, and a 25-yard field goal by Carson Hansen gets Johnston on the scoreboard. 7-3, Maroons lead it. Let's go down to John Chido on the Dowling sideline. Johnny?
Johnston's done a tremendous job with their inside zone going north-south, and when you go east-west against this Dowling defense, they're so aggressive it's hard to get that going. And then you had the reverse pass, caught Dowling off guard, and was able to set up that 3 points for Johnston.
All right, John, thanks for that play. Matt, you got a few scores. We'll get to it after this series. The Maroons with the first down at their own 20-yard line with 7:28 remaining here in the second quarter. Dante Cataldo, quarterback, looks left, now wants to throw, now wants to run, scrambles out of the pocket, up to the 20, and he angles himself to the near sideline and finally run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. That's something Dante brings, is his legs, as he scampered out of there and everything broke down in the secondary.
He really did. He ran up into the line of scrimmage, and he's looking, didn't have anything, ran up to the line of scrimmage, and broke a one-arm tackle and then sprinted out to the right side for a first down, and that's what Cataldo brings to the game.
Yes, he does. And I'd say we want to go to the scores, but they're playing up tempo, and they're snapping the ball at the 20-second mark on the play clock. So we'll try to give you – we got some scores to pass along, folks. So 7-3, Dowling with the lead. The handoff goes up the middle.
There he goes.
And that is C.J. Phillip up the gut. He goes down the near sideline as he angles. He's got one man to beat. And the Maroons are trying not to clip, and he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Maroons, on a tremendous run of 50 yards for C.J. Phillip.
That's really the first time C.J. Phillip has broken out and gotten loose into the field, and what a run. And it was fun to watch Carson Brown because, as you said, he was trying not to clip. He's leading the play. And he didn't want to hit anybody in the back and just running interference, almost like a basketball screen. He was running
with his hands
CJ.
up. With his hands up. I'm really not doing anything, but I'm kind of in the way.
Yeah.
Check that, a 60-yard run for C.J. Phillip. 1st and goal, Maroons. Ball's at the 10-yard line of Johnston. Here's the snap. Cataldo, lateral pass, fires it out, and that's C.J. Middleton with the catch as he's back in.
Cam Middleton out there, and Cam's going to learn in that little play right there. That play is not meant to run back into the defense. He ran that back inside instead of running that thing out to the edge.
And he picked up a yard. That was, as you mentioned, Middleton on the reception. You don't see that a whole lot.
I'll run through a couple scores quick here. Homecoming at Valley, it's 7-7 with Ankeny. Marr is up or down 7-14 at Southeast Polk, and Urbandale 3-0. And Ames is up 6-0.
All right, and now Middleton breaks a tackle. He's inside the 5, and he's tripped up there, and he lands at the 3-yard line to pick up a 6. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 3 for Dowling Catholic. And Cam with a nice run.
He's mad at himself because just got a shoelace there, made him trip up just a hair, and goes down at the 3-yard line.
Updated score from Southeast Polk. Linn-Mar and Southeast Polk tied at 7 now. Between you and our man Jeff Pickett at the studio. We got scores coming in. Here's Cataldo, and now penalty flags down. 3rd and goal for Dowling. We're under 6 minutes to play, second quarter, and we'll get the call.
All start on the offense, 5 yards.
And they got Dowling whistled for the procedure call on that play, so it'll bring up
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. What great news for donors to the Catholic Tuition Organization. You now receive 75%. Yes, 75% of your donation back in Iowa tax credits beginning January 1st of this year. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. Best gift ever. Online, ctoiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Have you downloaded the Iowa Catholic Radio app? It's easy through the Apple App Store on iPhone or through Google Play on Android. Search Iowa Catholic Radio and download the app. You can listen to Iowa Catholic Radio Talk or Iowa Catholic Radio Music. Listening to Iowa Catholic Radio is easy.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
If you're tuned in for Dowling Catholic football, we're experiencing technical difficulties at the moment. We hope to be reconnected very shortly to the Dowling-Johnston game. In the meantime, we're going to switch briefly to EWTN programming, but please stand by with EWTN, and we'll get Dowling football back on as soon as possible.
Lawyers and the many amicus briefs that have been filed in his favor here are asking a pretty straightforward question.
The December sitting is going to kick off with a case every pro-life advocate is watching. You've written about this extensively, the Dobbs case out of Mississippi. Before you tell me what to expect, what's the status of the latest appeal to throw out an even more aggressive law out of Texas?
Well, the last I checked, the law is still standing. There was an effort to block the Texas law in the Supreme Court. I can go into detail.
All right, stand by.
Law if you'd like, but it was, as you mentioned, it was a fairly novel and even more restrictive limit on abortion. There was an effort to block it. The Supreme Court denied requests to preemptively block the law. Now the
And welcome back to Johnston High School. Apologize for those technical difficulties. Somehow we were taken off the air, but we're back on. And while we're gone, the Maroons increase their lead. It's 21-3 as Dowling, a touchdown pass from Dante Cataldo to Cooper Nicholson from 8 yards. And then an interception by Noah Seamer resulted in a Jake English touchdown pass to Carson Brown. The Maroons lead it 21-3, Matt, to kind of fill our listeners in after we were down for a little bit.
Yeah, a quick 14 points there as Leon kicks off, and they fair catch it. You know, a couple quick plays there. Nice throw on one from Cooper Nicholson we were talking about, I think, when we went off the air. They ran a crossing pattern out there. Cataldo throws it to a wide-open Cooper in the corner, in the end zone. And then I believe it was the first play from Johnston was intercepted. He rolled out into the flat. He threw one, and Seamer stepped in front of it, gets the pick, and then coming down the other way, Jake English finds Carson Brown right away for an 11-yard touchdown.
All right, 1st and 10 now. Johnston after the Maroons kicked off, and they give it to the tailback, and he goes nowhere. The line of scrimmage was a Dragon 34. And he went backwards after that. Let's go down to John Chido while we have a minute. John, we were off the air for a little bit. Get us caught up. How about the touchdown pass from Dante Cataldo to Nicholson? And Matt and I were talking, not knowing we were off the air, John, but kind of a blown assignment back there by Johnston's defense.
Yeah, so it was a slant route by the number one receiver. He's the outside receiver. He ran his guy off, and they didn't switch, or it was a mixed-up coverage, and then Cooper broke on an out route, and he was wide open for the touchdown.
All right, Brodus is hit and dropped again. He's sacked in the backfield as he didn't have any time other than try to get the ball up to his hands, and he had pressure, Matt.
Yeah, Carson Hagan all of a sudden has been, in the last two plays here, has really had an impact and got the sack. I don't know if he's going to get credit with the sack. It looks like it from where we were. And now all of a sudden, Johnston's going in the wrong direction, and it is a 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 19.
Yeah, it's Brodus, who was sacked, loses 8 yards, the line of scrimmage back to the 25-yard line. And 3rd down, they'll call it 19 for Johnston. They're going right to left. They have the wind at their back as they head south to north here at Johnston High School. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido. Jeff Piggott is our studio producer, and hopefully we won't have any more problems like that. I don't know what got us off the air.
Spooky dust up here.
Apparently. And now we've got, a penalty flag called on Johnston, and they're moving back 5 yards for a procedure, and that'll back him up to the 20-yard line. Reminder at halftime, we caught up with Mary Beth Wiskus before her trip yesterday to Iowa City, take on number 1 Liberty High School in high school volleyball, and the Maroons came away with a 5-set victory. We'll talk more about that, but she is our halftime guest. And the handoff goes to the tailback, and now it's a matter of which one's in there for Johnston. They started Menson Martin, and then they put Cornwell in there, and they've been interchanging both there, Matt.
Yeah, they have, and that was Mata Brua and Jalen Pettis on the stop there for the Maroons as the defense has really started to assert itself here. And the Downs going to get the ball back with about 3 minutes to go with another opportunity here before half.
A gain of 4, but shy of the first down, so it'll bring up 4th down for the Dragons. And their punter in to kick it away. High snap, but he gets it down. And over-end kick by Carson Hansen, fielded by Dowling at the 40-yard line. And with it for the Maroons is Blake Anderson, and he tried to get outside and is finally dropped at the 45-yard line.
They're going to get him with the horse collar there, and Anderson's
down, slow to get up.
Yeah, a little slow to get up.
So with 2:53 remaining, Dowling with all 3 of their timeouts left here in the second quarter.
Now we're going to have a flag on the Waukee or the Johnston sideline here too.
It is 21-3. Dowling with the lead. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that's where John Chido's at. Tremendous pressure by the Dowling defense on that last possession for Johnston, Johnny.
Yeah, when he got pressure coming off the edges and into the backfield, and then Brodus, he tried to throw an out route when he was pressured to the wide side of the field, and that's kind of a no-no because the ball just hangs in the air, and Noah Seamer was able to come up with a key interception. So that's 2 interceptions, one by Jake Anderson, one by Noah Seamer, that led to 2 Dowling Catholic touchdowns.
16 on the defense. We also had an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Johnson bench. 15.
So they whistle the unsportsmanlike conduct on the Johnston bench, and Aiden Ackelson guilty of the the horse collars you mentioned, Matt. So this will take the ball deep into Johnston territory. The line of scrimmage would have been the 45. That's where Anderson returned it for the Maroons, and yes, that was Blake Anderson starting free safety for the Maroons back on double safety with Cooper Nicholson on punt returns. And Blake fielded it, and he was horse-collared, and moved the ball all the way down the 25 of Johnston. That is a
30 yards of penalty. Yeah.
So it is 1st and 10 Maroons. Dowling will keep the ball on the ground. Jake English, a handoff to the tailback, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard.
Adam Townsend right there, and so his yards per carry just went down.
Been averaging 15.
Yeah, he has, and I think a touchdown on each one just about, right? And so
what about his defensive yards?
Yeah.
Pick 6 last week.
Yeah.
All right.
1 yard on the run there for Adam.
All right, so it'll bring up 2nd and 9 for Dowling. The ball on the Johnston 24. Game clock running with 2.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Read option that gives it Townsend again, and he bowls his way, and the ball, he still bowls his way down near first down. I thought I saw a penalty flag in there, but something fell out. They picked it back up. And he picked it back up. It came right back to him. That's what happened.
This is one of those plays that's going to be hard to describe on radio. Adam Townsend gets in there, and with the Johnston defenders all around him, the ball pops up in the air out of his hands. He goes up and gets it, maintains his momentum going forward, breaks 2 more tackles, and gets a first down.
Everything kind of fell apart there except for Townsend. He made a first down on the run of 10 yards. 1st and 10 Maroons on the 14 of Johnston. Read option, English to give. And this time the C.J. Phillip is the ball carrier, and he hits the wall and then bounces forward inside the 10 down to the 9 to pick up a 5.
You know, earlier on, the Johnston defensive front was really shooting a lot of gaps and making it difficult for the Dowling defense to run the football. And then Dowling makes a couple pass plays, and now it's softening things up a little bit.
Maroons keep it on the ground. They give it to Phillip. He bounces off a tackle at the 5, still on his feet, and they're going to drag him down from behind at the 5-yard line for a gain of 4.
And, again, we've called his name a lot tonight. Ian Dolan on the stop there for the Dragons on C.J. Phillip, just short of the first down.
So it's 3rd and goal. Check that 3rd and call it 2. Dowling can get a first down as they get the ball at the 4-yard line. They can get a first down. They spot it back to the 6. So just a gain of 3 for Phillip. Maroons will bring different personnel in. And they'll bring in Dante Tal, quarterback, with 45 seconds remaining. Dowling with 3 timeouts. They'll send a man in motion. That's Phillip. Dante wants to go over center, and he's hit and he's dropped, and he's pushed back from the line of scrimmage, the 6-yard line. Clock running at 35 seconds and counting. Maroons have all 3 of their timeouts, and let's see if the Maroons do here.
Dante got through the line of scrimmage there on his second effort and then got met and stood up and not allowed to get to that first down. So now it's a tough call here for Coach Wilson.
Yep, 4th and 2. The Maroons are going to wind the clock all the way down as far as the play clock will let them.
Well, there's 12 seconds left before halftime.
There's 2-second differential from the play clock, and that'll move it down to about 3 or 2 seconds. They'll call timeout, and they'll bring in Diego Leon, I'm sure. So Dowling stops the clock with 3 seconds. We'll keep it here. The score, Dowling 21, Johnston 3 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network alongside Matt Mandring. I'm Mark Hamadale. Let's go down to a sideline report. That's where John Chido is at. Johnny?
Well, Dowling's been doing a lot of things to get guys out of the box for Johnston's defense. So they're motioning the tailback out of the backfield, and sometimes a backer will go with them, sometimes he won't. And then that's a read off of that. And the last time they had a linebacker go out, and Dante Catala was playing quarterback, and it was a quarterback power play, but Johnston was able to steal the stuff the middle there to stop him short of the first down.
Yeah, and good job by the defensive line for Johnston in that scenario. Now from the right hash, Dowling going left to right towards the south end zone. Diego Leon will attempt a 23-yard field goal. Jake English to hold, and Carson Hagan, the junior, will snap it. And now we've got a timeout called, and it'll be timeout Johnston. So we'll keep it here. We'll get a few scores in here, Matt, in a moment. Let's go take a look at I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Ashworth Vision Clinic, our friends at Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and, of course, Kemen. Matt, give us an update.
Okay, in the first quarter, we have Abraham Lincoln went ahead of Ames 7-6. Centennial's up on Urbandale 10-3. Ankeny and Valley are tied at 14 in the second quarter. And Linn-Mar in the second quarter went up by a point over Southeast Polk. So that score is 15-14 going into the half.
And out in Maryland,
is there a football game going on?
Yeah, Maryland leading the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Don't tell me I'm taping it.
Oh, no
I'm just kidding you.
Maryland leading the Iowa Hawkeyes 7-3. They start the second quarter out on the East Coast late. So
I am taping it.
I know you are. So am I.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
We're gonna watch what we missed. All right, 23-yard field goal after the timeout. Both teams now with 2 timeouts left respectively. 3 seconds remaining, and a 23-yard field goal. Hagan with the snap. Ball down by English. Kick is up, and it is good by Diego Leon. And the Maroons now tack on 3 more points and lead it 24-3, and that's the end of the first half here at Johnston High School. Dowling 24. And Johnston 3, Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where John Chido is at. Johnny, you have head coach Tom Wilson.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up with him here. He's coming towards me here. So.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't realize that.
Oh, no, here he comes. So we'll be good to go here.
All right. Maroons scoring on that last play of the field goal by Diego Leon of 23 yards.
Looks like Johnny's
ready. Okay, Coach, you really broke things open here late in the second quarter, and 3 quick scores tapped off by that field goal. Tell me about your thoughts in the first half.
Well, defensively we're doing a great job. They're creating some turnovers for us. We've left points on the field, which is disappointing. I think we can execute better, but the 24 points is probably as much a product of our defense as it is our offense.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
All right. John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling leads it here at halftime 24-3, and everybody heading to the north here where their locker rooms are. They have, of course, it's interesting to see both teams on the sidelines head to one locker room on each side, and what a beautiful facility they have out here at Johnston. But the Maroons leading 24-3, a little bit different than a year ago when Dowling dropped an 18-15 game to Johnston 1 year ago, Matt.
Yeah, it's a big difference tonight. And, again, the defense, as Coach alluded to, has created some situations for the offense, give them that short field, and give some confidence to that offense that needs it. And they are executing and not allowing the Waukee defense to really run blitz and get things stopped up.
Absolutely. Well, we're waiting our halftime stats. I don't think Coach Seifert knew that
He might be wandering around looking for us.
Is he knocking on doors?
Maybe.
All right, let's take a look at the rankings before we go to our halftime break. In Class 5A this week, Ankeny is the number 1 ranked team, followed by Cedar Rapids at number 2. Southeast Polk comes in third. Iowa City High at number 4, and the Valley Tigers come in at number 5. 6 through 10 has Urbandale at 6, Cedar Falls, Linn-Mar of Marion, who is at Southeast Polk tonight at number 8. Cedar Rapids Prairie is 9th, and Dowling Catholic at number 10. Those are Class 5A rankings out of Radio Iowa. We appreciate all they do. Todd Kim does the rankings there. I trust Todd. He's a neighbor of mine, and he's a longtime broadcaster and journalist, and his rankings are usually pretty close.
Yeah, you know, even back when we were in Northwest Iowa, we'd always pay attention to the Radio Iowa poll because that was really where you got your best read for the most part on what was going on. So
yeah, Todd, when I moved into the Urbandale neighborhood about 12 years ago, he came over.
They let you in?
His dog. They let me in, and that's the first thing he said. He said, Amadeo, I don't know how you got through all the covenants, and second of all, my property taxes just went down, and so did the value of my house. So I don't know what that meant at the time, but he's still a good guy. And, here's Seifert. Here we got the math guy.
Well, you know, Coach Seifert was out singing today. He took his class, and they went and sang Happy Birthday to Coach Roaring.
Is that right?
Yeah, now, Coach Roaring's birthday today.
I knew that because I texted him this morning. I said it was a milestone birthday, ended in a 0. We
Really?
won't say which 0. Oh, yeah, milestone birthday for Roaring. You know, those.
I think I passed it a while ago.
You know, those Northwest Iowa guys, you live good. I mean, he's doing well.
Yeah.
He looks all right. All right. Well as he can. All right, let's take a look at the total offense in the first half before we go to our break. Dowling with 217 yards of total offense. Johnston 58. Maroons has 62 yards on the ground, 155 in the air. Johnston with 39 yards on the ground and 19 yards in the air. Penalties, the Maroons penalized 3 times for 30 yards. Johnston 6 penalties for 61 yards. And would you say, Matt, 30-some yards on that horse collar, and then you add unsportsmanlike conduct. That was a big chunk there. First downs, Dowling with 15, Johnston with 3. Jake English was 4 of 6 passing, 43 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dante Cataldo, 3 for 3 passing, 19 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rex Woodley completed 1 pass for 35 yards for Johnston, and Brodus, their starting quarterback, 2 for 5 passing for just 4 yards and 2 interceptions. Leading ball carrier for Dowling is C.J. Phillip, 13 carries, 81 yards. Cam Middleton, 10 carries, 52 yards for Dowling. Cataldo, 4 carries for 11 yards, and Adam Townsend getting in there, 2 carries for 11 yards. For Johnston, their leading ball carrier is Mason Cornwell, 8 carries for 21 yards. Leading receiver for Dowling is Carson Brown, 4 catches, 37 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Nicholson, 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown for the Maroons. For Johnston, Manna, 1 catch for 35 yards, and Pospihill, 1 catch for 5 yards. So Dowling leading here at halftime, 24-3. The Maroons scoring 3 touchdowns and a field goal of 23 yards by Diego Leon for their scoring, as the Maroons compiled 217 yards total offense in the first half, 58 for Johnston. Thanks to Coach Seifert for all he does. We'll see him on the post-game show. We're going to take a break, Matt. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit. Then we'll get with the Dowling volleyball coach. I caught up with Mary Beth Wiskus before her travels to eastern Iowa yesterday. We'll talk more about that as we return to Johnston High School after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com.
Mary Beth going to be on tape?
Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business
Mark,
since
are you guys
1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny.
Okay, Mary Beth's going to be on tape.
Fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio. 11 50 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at halftime at Johnston High School alongside Matt Mandring. I'm Mark Amadale. Is Dowling leading here at halftime 24-3. And Matt, yesterday, as we try to feature some of the other events and activities going on at Dowling, I caught up with Mary Beth Wiskus, 13th year as the head volleyball coach at Dowling, and been to the state tournament, I think, like 10 of those years. And I remember when she started the program, or actually took over the program, got very involved with the youth. She was part of the Dowling Catholic Volleyball Club that she established. And, you know, you got to find good coaches to run that. You know about youth football, and she did. And here she is, in 13 years at Dowling, picked up her win number 380 in her career at Dowling last night, knocking off number 1 Iowa City Liberty at Liberty High School in Iowa City.
Yeah, and what a match. You know, I got a chance to visit with her this afternoon too, and I was following on Twitter, and they, you know, to lose the first 2 against number 1,
yes,
and then to beat, what was it? I think it was 23-21 or something like that in the third game. They were down, came back. You talk about resiliency, and came back and win game 3, come back and win game 4, and then in the fifth set, they come up and they're down again. That's when you said you started listening, and they come back from behind and get the win against number 1. What a testament to the coach and the program.
Well, as you know, the first 4 sets you played at 25, got to win by 2. The 5th set you only played at 15. Dowling was down at 1 point during that match. I think it was 10-5. Then it was like 12-7. Then all of a sudden the Maroons went on a run. They got it tied. They went ahead 15-14. Liberty comes back, and then Dowling wins at 18-16, in that 5th set. So what a win, and that's the 3rd time those 2 teams have met. They met in tournaments throughout this month. The past month of September, they've met twice in tournaments. Liberty's beat them both times.
Yeah.
But last night at Liberty High School, raucous crowd. When I tuned in on the webcast, it was something. So anyway, I caught up with Mary Beth, and of course a couple of the Dowling players in the team. Matter of fact, her 2 captains, Callie Capola and Abby Stahn, will be 2 people that you hear on this interview. So
great kids, and what a match, and I think they earned a day off tomorrow.
You think so?
Maybe.
I think they did. All right, and here is my interview with head coach Mary Beth Wiskus of Dowling Catholic volleyball coach in her 13th year. 2-1. And welcome back to halftime here at Johnston. Mark Amadale now visiting with the head volleyball coach at Dowling Catholic in her 13th year, Mary Beth Wiskus. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. This is a fun time to chat with you always.
Well, it always is. And I know, Coach, as we do this ahead of time, you're involved in a big tournament, had big tournaments this year. You had a big match last night. And I know that this has been an exciting season, especially after last year where you had an outstanding record. You won 12 in a row and 9 in a row at times last year, but you lost all those seniors, and this is kind of a rebuilding year, and you've done a nice job. You're ranked 4th in Class 5A. Yeah,
we're really excited. The girls are performing. We knew that they were going to be great. It's just fun to show everybody how great they are. We have a great program, very strong from the bottom up, and it just shows how these girls develop all the way from our freshman teams to our varsity teams. But we have a great senior class this year that are really shining and stepping up, and excited to lead this year, so it's helping us out a ton.
Coach, the goals for this program are just outstanding. You've been to state every year that you've been here, and that's quite a goal to accomplish. It's not easy, especially getting out of regionals. Sometimes your toughest matches are in regionals, but for this group, it's certainly a challenge, especially after the leadership and the senior experience in leading last year and graduating. This year's group's hungry too.
Yes, we have some awesome seniors, and just they're so talented. I mean, they've been talented freshman year. They were talented last year on the JV team, and they're very malleable and ready to work. And they've done some great things, winning some big games for us and just coming in and playing hard.
Well, your schedule has been tough. As I looked, you've right now played 30 games, and 15 of them are against ranked teams, and some of them have been from out-of-state teams. So that says a lot about the challenge during the regular season. A lot of coaches won't do that because they want that high seed in the regional. You want to be a number one seed in the regional. That always helps. But also challenging your team throughout the year. And you've done that this year, and I think other years too.
Yeah, I think it's good to put them in a position to be challenged as much as possible. It's also good to have the mindset of, hey, failure is just an opportunity to improve. And so many times when you play those good teams that you can just beat, it's not a great opportunity to improve. So just going in and playing some of those great teams that we've played, through beating them and through losing to them, we are really growing more. So that's the overall goal, is just get us the strongest that we can be at the end of the season. So I always just want to play the best teams that we can. And we really have, I think, one of the toughest schedules in the state.
Well, you do, and I'm going to talk to a couple of your team captains here later, but you started out with the Dallas Center Grimes tournament. You went 2-2 to start the year. Ankeny Centennial tournament, went 3-2, or 2-2, and then you played in the Valley tournament, went 3-2, and knocked off Valley, who's ranked high. And we'll talk more about that match in a little bit. And then you go to Iowa City, Cedar Falls. You've been all over, and the kids have been challenged. And now we're getting close to postseason with just a couple matches left.
Yes, I think the girls are getting focused in. Really narrowing their focus in on what we need to improve. We've talked a lot about those little things. They have the skills, just getting those little things sharpened up and controlling what they can. And it's very exciting. The coaches and staff see them at such a high level, and to just keep bringing them up to that level that we see them at is the goal for us. And they're inch by inch getting there. So we still have some work to do. Which is also really, really exciting because they just continue to improve with their youth and just being very coachable.
Visit with Mary Beth Wiskus, the head coach of the Dowling volleyball team in her 13th year here at Dowling. And Coach, before we go to our next segment here with these two young captains, your two young ladies who are now young women who will be going to college, I'm sure. You had a match with Valley this year. I know it's your conference rival and all that. And it was a very special match. I know Coach Jeremy Michael is undergoing some cancer treatment. And what a night it was. Very emotional night for everybody, including he and his family and his Valley team. But you usually don't see rivals, kind of recognize each other. But that was a very special moment here at the Dowling Gym. Tell our listeners a little bit about that matchup with Valley.
Well, Jeremy had talked with us early in this summer, sent an email saying that he had started battling throat cancer. And so just what can you do for somebody, because he's a person and you just want to help anybody that's going through a hard time. And so before they came in, I just wanted to do something special. So we had the girls the week before they came in. We gave them some money, and they went out with their big sister, little sister groups, and they bought, they each had $20 to go buy little gifts for a basket. And then we came back and wrote some notes and lifted, and that was our practice for the day. And sometimes, the girls, they just need to know that the game is about the people and about their teammates and even the people that we're playing. And that life is about helping people out, and especially when they're going through hard times, and just being there for each other. So I think it's a great opportunity to do something nice for somebody. And it turned it into something bigger than I thought it was going to be. It was just going to be a basket that we were going to give Jeremy. And I think I've never seen him show such appreciation that it kind of just shows though those little things can be something great for someone and mean a lot to someone. So it was nice to be able to give him a smile and to show him that we're there for him, and we're all one big volleyball community, and we always support him and support anybody who's going through something like that, no matter what team they're on.
No question about it. Coach Wiskus, let's talk about your two seniors who I'm going to visit with here in a moment, Callie Coppola and Abby Stahn, and they're both with us tonight. Talk a little bit about, give me kind of an overview on them. We're going to start with Callie. Your thoughts on Callie Coppola. She's one of your two seniors, and these are some of the girls you were looking to this year to show that leadership. Graduated a lot from last year, and these two have kind of stepped up, and you're in a pretty good position right now, record-wise, going to the postseason. Talk about Callie and Abby.
Well, Callie came in. She started for us her freshman year. She has been a very good player for us skill-wise, but the best thing that I've enjoyed is seeing her, like, leadership-wise step up and just provide a lot of focus for us even the last few weeks, and we need that big time. So just letting us have confidence in ourselves with her voice, with her action on the court, and just believing in her own self so that she can let the other teammates believe in them and with themselves. So her skill is great, but her leadership has been very valuable for us this season. And Abby is our senior setter, one of our 2 senior setters. And Abby has always been like the person that has been a great leader for us, even in the postseason. I remember she came in last year during the season and said, I know we're going to be good this year, but I feel like we're going to be great next year, and we can do it next year. Already talking about next year. So it has been great to have her drive and her just clapping at the girls saying, let's go get this next ball, and just pushing everybody around her to get better. So their leadership is invaluable for us and for our success moving forward. So I really appreciate both of them and their drive to make this team the best they can be.
All right, that's a pretty good setup. Now I'm going to ask them about you, and we'll get back to you. All right. All right, let's move on to Callie Coppola. Callie, you're a senior. Thanks for joining us tonight. Volleyball, Dowling, four-year starter, is that right? That is amazing. Have you been healthy during that whole time?
Actually, no. I tore my ACL end of my freshman year, so sophomore year, I was out the whole season until end of September, and then I came back and played at the state championship. And I've had a few other small injuries since then, but for the most part, I've been pretty healthy.
Well, you want to stay healthy because now you're 30 games into it right now and more coming up. Defensive specialist, outside hitter. How are you doing on the team leader in kills? Because that's a big thing in volleyball, kills. Talk about that.
Well, I passed more than I hit, but this past weekend I did hit a lot more, and I went pretty well. It's just a team effort. Everyone just did a great job. I don't know.
Okay. Well, what's your thoughts? After graduation, you going to play volleyball at the next level?
No, I'm not going to play volleyball in college, but I got directly admitted into the business school at Iowa, so I'll probably go there and then hopefully become a lawyer.
Oh, my goodness. Remind me of that, Coach Wiskus. I may need her to help me out here down the stretch. Callie, talk about a great memory in your 4 years here at Dowling. Volleyball related, maybe on the bus, maybe at practice, maybe a certain moment. What's your favorite memory thus far besides winning the 2021 state title coming up here in a few weeks? Talk about that.
Probably each year is our team bonding. We always go to a lake home, like somewhere new each year, and every single year that has always been my favorite because the team gets so close at the beginning of the season, creates such a special bond, and it's just nice coming together at the beginning because it makes the season so much fun.
I'm going to really put you on the spot here. Coach Wiskus, you got to say something about her. What do you think of her as a coach and hanging out with Coach Wiskus and the rest of the coaching staff?
They've all been amazing to me all 4 years, and they have been so encouraging. Every single time that I get down on myself, I know I can look to them to help bring me back up. If I don't understand how to do something, they'll explain it to me and just help me through whatever I need, on and off the court. I can go to their classroom if I need it. I've gone to Coach Wiskus' classroom several times just during school if I just need to talk or anything, and they've been amazing.
You're going to be an attorney. What do you go in the math classroom for? You won't need that.
Free candy, just a good talk with Coach Wiskus. It's a good time.
Callie, thank you very much for visiting with me and Coach tonight, and I know best of luck to you in the future. Stay healthy, and look forward to Dowling postseason volleyball here coming up.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. That's Callie Coppola, another Dowling senior. Now I'm going to visit with Abby Stahn. And Abby, you're going to have to stand right over here because I have to go through Abby or Callie to get to you. But Abby, you're a senior, one of the co-captains, and thanks for joining us tonight here. Talk about the season. You've got to be excited. Coach said you were excited from last year. You guys were pretty good last year, 22-3 record. Lost in the semis to Iowa City Liberty, a team you're going to challenge here later. But talk about that.
This season has just been amazing so far, so fun. We're already making so many memories, and to see the progress we've made since the beginning of season at team camp to now is just so crazy to see how many people have improved.
Well, including yourself, I'm guessing. As Abby, you are a setter and a defensive specialist, so you get everything ready for the next gal, and then they hit the kill. I know kind of how that works. You're always around the floor is what I'm trying to get our listener to understand. Right. And talk about that role.
I love the role because I'm a part of most plays, and it just makes being a leader so much easier. I feel like I'm pushing everyone to be their best in between plays and during, and just talking to the players on and off the court is a really important part of that role.
All right. Abby, next, after you graduate Dowling, what's next?
Well, we're not sure yet, but we hope to become a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. Not sure yet, but probably Iowa State. Don't want to go too far. Come watch some more Dowling volleyball after I graduate.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. Special memory here at Dowling in the last 4 years with Coach Wiskus. I'll ask you about her in a minute, but your special memory that we heard from Callie about hers, you have one.
For me, this season, it would be beating the number 1 and number 2 ranked in the same week, because the energy on our team the whole week was just amazing, and it just felt so good.
All right, that was comments from a couple of Dowling volleyball players along with head coach Mary Beth Wiskus. We want to thank them for joining us here on halftime. We're going to take a break. 24-3, Dowling leading at halftime. We'll return for the second half. Our thanks to Callie Coppola and Abby Stahn, the two captains on the Dowling volleyball team. Big win last night over number 1 Iowa City Liberty. We'll return to the football game after this 1-minute timeout. Back for the second half after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Alquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say, religion can never depend on minute disputes about doctrine? G.K. Chesterton says that's like saying that life can never depend on minute disputes about medicine. Will the man who says we don't want theologians splitting hairs also say we don't want surgeons splitting filaments more delicate than hairs? Many a man would be dead today if his doctors had not debated fine shades about doctoring. It's also a fact that Western civilization would be dead today if its doctors of divinity had not debated fine shades about doctrine. We depend on doctors of medicine. We can also depend on the doctors of the church. Want more than a minute? Visit our website, chesterton.org.
And we're back here at Johnston High School. Welcome back to the broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling leading 24-3. We start the second half. The Maroons return the opening kickoff of the second half and have penalties, and the Maroons will start 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. And at quarterback will be Dante Cataldo to get the start. He throws it downfield. He's got a man open, and it's caught. Nice catch that time by Dowling Catholic, and then it was stripped out of his hands. Cooper Nicholson at midfield, incomplete. And that was nearly a catch and a fumble, and luckily they ruled incomplete for the Maroons.
Well, he went up there, and they were fighting for the ball together, and Jared Klon for Johnston got his hands in there, was able to rip it loose from Cooper, and really nice throw in the run by Cataldo. He escapes the pocket, gets out to the right, throws it on the run, and laid it right out there for him. That's a great pass.
Certainly was, and now Dowling with a 2nd down and 10. Cataldo on the read option, but he'll give it to Phillips. CJ trying to turn the corner on the short side, puts his head down, and he rolls towards the boundary, and he's knocked down right about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 7 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3.
The little misdirection out of the backfield there and allowed CJ to break loose to the side and bounced it to the edge. Had a block there. I couldn't tell which receiver was out there. It was Carson Brown or if it was Cooper Nicholson. And gave him a couple more yards and scored it up to the 7-yard gain.
All right, it's 3rd and 3 for the Maroons. Dowling on their own 28. Johnston showing bliss. They got 6 on the line. Back to throw. And Cataldo gets it off, and it's caught out of the backfield, but for a loss. Cam Middleton can't sneak his way out of a tackle, but they brought the house that time, Johnston?
Yeah, Cade Caffrey came untouched. The 190-pound senior, coming from his weak linebacker position, came through untouched. Cataldo gets it away because it was set up as a screen, gets it to Cam Middleton, but by then the play was all blown up and nothing there for the Maroons.
Well, the first time in 6 quarters we're going to see the Dowling punter, John Cole, stands back at his own 10-yard line awaiting the snap from Carson Hagan. 24-3 Dowling, 10:15 remaining. High snap. Cole gets it down, gets the punt away. It's a nice spiral kick into the wind. Fair catch signaled for by Johnston, and that'll be J.J. Shaw at the 40-yard line. So that's where the Dragons will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line with 10:10 remaining here in the third quarter, and Dowling leading 24-3. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline for the first time here during the second half, and that's where John Chido's at. Johnny, give us an update.
Yeah, you guys weren't kidding when they said you brought the house. They had 8 guys in the box, and 2 of them were lined up in the A-gap, and Caffrey came untouched, and it was amazing that Dante was able to even get that ball away to Cam. But nice run. Dowling's motioning their running back out of the backfield, taking an extra guy out of the box, and they're running power back away from that, and that's been successful. It's just you need that one extra block, and it goes for a big play.
All right, John, thank you for that update. Matt, a penalty on the punt return. They're going to move the ball into Dowling territory.
It was after the punt. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I couldn't quite hear what was going on there. It was strange how that all rolled out.
Well, it went from it's a 15-yard penalty, so it's got to be somewhat like an unsportsmanlike. Dragons with the first down at the Dowling 46-yard line. All right, quarterback Adrian Brodus back to throw and launches it downfield, overthrew everybody, incomplete. He threw into double coverage that time as Dowling had twin safeties. He tried to hit the receiver, and I think that was might have been the coach's kid. It was Woodley at the 5-yard line, incomplete.
He went out there, threw him deep, and Joe Reed and had him covered up on one side, and Kellen Shimon on the other.
All right, Brodus out of the shotgun with 2 receivers each side. He goes back to throw, steps up, now wants to run, rolls to his right, staying to his right, now being chased, and he runs out of bounds in the Dowling sideline. Heads up over there, including the chain gang, and he run out of bounds at the 41, a pickup of 5.
Yeah, there was a little bit of great pressure up front from the Maroon front 4, and then Adam Townsend sitting back there in that middle linebacker position saw Brodus leave and took off after him, and Brodus and chased him out of bounds for only a minimal gain.
Yep, pickup of 4 to bring up 3rd and 6 for Johnston. They have the win at their back. They're going right to left, wearing their home purple jerseys with white pants and helmets. Back to throw is Brodus. Scrambles out of the pocket. He's hit once, avoids the tackle, still on his feet, and brought down at the right around the 45-yard line, so he'll lose 3 yards. It'll bring up 4th down for the Dragons.
Couldn't quite see who got the initial pressure there, but made Brodus step up into the pocket, and then Chase Patton at the end of that play was able to bring him down as he scrambles to him, and good defensive stand there for the Maroons.
Well, Patton might be his first sack of the year. The nose tackle for the Maroons, making the part of the stop. 9:20 remaining. Clock continues to run here in the third quarter. Dowling up 24-3. We'll catch up with some scores here when we get a chance. And now the punting unit on for Johnston. Here's the punt, and Carson Hansen gets it away. Fielded by Cooper Nicholson at the 10. Avoids one tackle. Still on his feet. He's upended right at the 12-yard line for a short return. That'll bring up 1st and 10 Dowling. And the Maroons pin back right at their own 12-yard line. As 9:03 remaining, third quarter, Dowling leading 24-3. Matt Maindry, you have an update with some scores.
A couple scores for us. Ankeny and Valley went into half at 21-21. High-scoring game over there. And Southeast Polk and Linn-Mar, last report was still Linn-Mar 15-14 over Southeast Polk. And then Ankeny Centennial up on Nervendale 10-3 at Ames over Lincoln 16-10.
All right, Dante Cataldo remains at quarterback, I believe. Yes, he is. He calling out signals. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield. Fires it out left side. Pass is caught. Gain up to the 26-yard line. Or checked at the 16-yard line. Gain of 4.
Gain of 4. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, too, so good concentration there on the receiver's side, and was able to take it in. Quick gain, and this is really what the Johnston defense is giving the Dowling offense right now, because they're really stacking that box.
24-3 Dowling. The Maroons going left to right towards this 10-mile-an-hour wind out here, and a handoff goes to the tailback. Let's see if that was Cam or CJ, and he spun down at the 14. He'll lose 2 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and long for Dowling.
Jared Klon again for the Johnston Dragons at the bottom of the pile. Comes up from his position and makes the play. And again, they had everybody up in the box. Johnston did, and stacked it.
Yep.
8 guys within the line of scrimmage, and there was nowhere to go there.
2-yard loss for C.J. Phillip. Maroons with 4 receivers, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. They'll send a man in motion. Back to throw is Cataldo looking downfield. Now he finds his safety valve, and he overthrew him. Incomplete as he tried to hit C.J. Phillip, who was the 5th option maybe, and that'll stop the clock with 7:55 to go here in the third quarter. Dowling leading 24-3, and the punting unit out once again for the Maroons.
Unit out. You know, Cataldo showed good patience there. He did go through his progression. You know, looked at his different reads. His safety valve was C.J. out into the right flat, and threw it out there and a little over his head, and he wasn't going to get anywhere anyway.
No.
I mean, the defender was right there, so this ends up being the lesser of two evils anyway.
So Dowling will be forced to punt. John Cole in to punt for the second time. He didn't tonight, and actually back-to-back possessions from his own goal line. Cole gets it away. It's a spiral kick, short, fair catch signal for, and fielded by Johnston right at the Dowling 42. And not a bad kick into the wind, and it gave the coverage team time to get down there. So with 7:47 remaining, 1st and 10, Johnston. Ball be on the Dowling 42-yard line. Let's go down the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido is at, Johnny.
Yeah, you know, Dante did show a lot of patience there, and there was nothing open downfield. And like Coach Mainring said, you have your outlet, there's nothing there, and throw it away and live to play another down. And you like to see that out of a sophomore quarterback with that patience and awareness, not to try to make something happen, because that's when things go bad, especially in the field position that Dowling was set with.
All right, John, thanks for that update. And, Matt, we have a penalty. Must be a dead ball penalty after the punt.
Yeah, I'm not sure what – this is the same call, unsportsmanlike again. They didn't give a number. I'm not sure what – and maybe Johnny can ask someone. Johnny was talking, so he couldn't see what was going on, but unsportsmanlike again.
It's 15-yard penalty against Dowling. That'll move the ball to the 27 of Dowling. 1st and 10, Johnson. We'll go down to John here in a moment, but that's back-to-back 15-yard penalties after a punt by the Maroons.
Yeah.
And now the inside handoff as they run the read option. The Dragons carry it down to the 25 for a gain of 2 to bring up 2nd and 8. And Johnston with a different ball carrier in there. They've been running ball carriers left and right in their backfield.
Yeah, they are, and multiple guys back there. And this one looks like Adrian. That's the quarterback. And this must be...
Is it Cornwell 8?
Ciata?
It could be. We'll see. And now back to throw is quarterback Adrian Brodus. He fires it out. Caught right around the 20-yard line. Shy of the first down. Will be brought down there at the 20 as he caught it on his knees. 5-yard gain.
And that was Jacob Simpson out there for the reception. And, you know, in high school football, as in college, catch the ball at the knee on the ground, you are down. And that's what happened right there.
All right, brings up 3rd down for Johnston. They're threatening here. 3rd and 3 for the Dragons from the Dowling 20. Maroons up 24-3, 6:45 remaining. 3rd quarter from Johnston High School. Beautiful night. The rain is held off. We'll send a man in motion, and the give is to the tailback, and that's Menson Martin back in there, and he's hit and stacked up at the line and brought back. No gain. Will bring up 4th and 3 for the Dragons.
No gain up front there with, and it looks like it's Moncada in there right now, and Patton and Pettis and Hikas, and there was no room for him to run whatsoever as the linebackers converged and stacked him up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Menson Martin back in. He started the game at tailback, and they've rotated others in there. Dragons now will check with the sideline. They don't huddle, so they just check with the sideline, and now Brodus out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left and right. Back to throw is Brodus. Looks right. Now being chased from the backside. He's going to be brought down back at the 26-yard line. A loss of 6. And who's at the bottom of that pile?
Jalen
Pettis with another sack.
Yeah, Jalen Pettis chased him down from the backside, showing his athleticism. He broke off and chasing Brodus from the backside. Brodus didn't see him coming, and Jalen was able to get him and for the big sack, big turnover there.
We should mention our referee tonight is Mike Morrison. Jerry Bohe is the umpire. Jeff Bunning is the linesman. Russ Dempster, the line judge. And the back judge, Sean Ostland. And I'll bring up 1st down for Dowling as they hold on downs. And the give is to Cam Middleton on 1st down.
Right now what the Dowling offense is trying to do, because they're stacking the box so much, is they're trying to cave that edge in and have Cam Middleton or C.J. Phillip show inside, bounce it to the edge where they can seal it off and get a crease outside. And that's what worked for C.J. on that long run, and Cam almost broke that one right there.
All right, 2nd down and 8 for Dowling. The give is to Cam Middleton, and he's going to be wrestled down from behind. And he may have lost a yard. The line of scrimmage was 28. They're going to move it back a yard to the 27. And the Dragons, again, filling that box up there, 8-9 players.
Dylan Smith right there, the 6 foot, 230-pound senior nose tackle for the Dragons, was on the stop there, and Cam really didn't have a chance to get loose there at all.
All right, it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Dowling Catholic, and the quarterback remains Dante Cataldo. He has 3 receivers right, quarterback keeper. Dante with it. He's got the 1st down, and he's drugged down right about the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 12 yards and a Dowling 1st down.
Yeah, nice. All-designed quarterback draw. They ran trips right, and you had Cade Batterton leading Cataldo up there. And Cataldo, if you'd been a little more patient behind him, he had the big fella. Let the big fella clear some ground for you.
Your big left guard, yeah. So spotting down to the 38, a gain of 11 for Cataldo. 1st down Maroons. They'll go to the pistol formation. A receiver on each side. And Jake English in there now. He hands it off to Cam Middleton and spins his way up to the 45-yard line. He'll gain 7. 2nd down 3 coming up for Dowling.
It says we have to keep track of who the running back is. We have to keep track of who the quarterback is here. Jake English slips in there and hands it off to Cam for a nice run there on 1st down off the left side. This time, again, over Batterton and Rockers.
Maroons bring in tight end, and that's Drew Wingett on the right side. They give up the middle, and that is Middleton again. And Cam crosses midfield, and he's brought down in Johnston territory at the 43.
Right now they're getting him out of position, and that left side of the line is creating a hole in there, and that's got the Johnston defense is adjusting in a way, and Dowling's a step ahead.
All right, 1st and 10 Maroons, and English to give. Once again, they're just running that same play. This time it's over to the left side, center, left guard, left tackle, and Middleton again bowls his way down to the 38 of Johnston to pick up a 5, and they're picking up big chunks of yardage here, Matt.
They are right now. You know, in the 3rd quarter, this is the kind of drive that you're looking for when you're up 24-3. You want to establish that ground game, choose some time off the clock, and let those big guys up front just wear down that defensive front.
All right. I see different personnel coming in. We'll see. Here's English. And the give is to C.J. Phillip. Works the left side. He's got some running room. He's got the 1st down inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line to pick up a 5. And another Dowling Catholic 1st down with 3 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Dowling leading 24-3 over Johnston.
Right now, that play right there for Cam or for C.J. Phillip, that's Coach Meeks right there. And you watch him do these drills in practice where they've got a stutter step, slide to the side, keep their hips square, and he's patient and gets up there for big gains.
6-yard run. English now. Handoff again to Phillip. This time CJ is hit at the line at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage and dropped. May have gotten a yard to the 31-yard line. Pick up a 1.
Pick up a 1. Not much there for CJ in that run right there. And Dowling starting to assert their authority up there in that line position.
All right, to bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Maroons. 2:15 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And now the read option. English wants to throw. He's throwing to the end zone. Now the players are both fall down, the receiver and defender, and a penalty flag down at the 10-yard line. I think Carson Brown was the intended receiver, and this will be pass interference on Johnston, and we'll get the call from our referee, Mike Morrison. So it'll bring up 1st down Dowling, I believe.
Pass interference. Number 24 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
I'll whistle that on Jared Klon, the 5'11 junior defensive back for Johnston. As the pass was officially incomplete, but due to penalty, the Maroons will have a 1st down. They're going to mark it at the 16 of Johnston on the penalty.
Carson Brown off the cut, and Klon didn't have much choice but to rip him down and make that penalty.
All right, English on the read option. Jake hands it off to C.J. Phillip. Scampers to the left side and dances and darts his way down to the 15-yard line, pick up a 1. And you're right, Matt. They're just they're being clock eaters here. Final minute and 50 of the 3rd quarter. Dowling up 24-3. Quick game. We had a quick 1st quarter. Now English throws in the end zone. Back shoulder throw, and Carson Brown rips it out. And did he get in? Touchdown! Yeah. Carson Brown, play of the game right there. He had a high point the ball. The defender went up. Good job by the Johnston defender, but Carson ripped it out of his hands and went the remaining 4 yards of the end zone. Touchdown from 15 yards out, but Carson caught it 10 yards downfield and ripped it away from the defender. Beautiful play.
It was a beautiful play. J.J. Shaw, I believe, there for the Dragons was up, and I thought the ball was going to get picked off for a second. Carson Brown gets it. The ball bounces back up in the air. Carson Brown gets it, reaches for the pylon in the corner, and gets it in. All
right, the extra point by Dowling is up, and it is good by Diego Leon. So Dowling tacks on 6-7 more points, and it's 31-3 Maroons leading Johnston. We'll take a break. From Johnston High School on a beautiful Friday night for high school football, it's Dowling 31, Johnston 3, here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Our blessed Lord considered the three possible forms of church government. The democratic would be one in which a majority vote decides, in which everyone has an entirely different opinion of what is to be. The aristocratic is an appeal not so much to the majority or to the masses, but rather an appeal to an aristocracy, a House of Parliament, a Senate, a Congress, a House of Lords. And the theocratic is one in which God chooses one man as he chose Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses, and guides and protects and directs this man. Peter holds the primacy not only of honor, but also of jurisdiction over the church. He is the vicar of Christ. He is the first pontiff. He is the first pope.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at Johnston High School. Here's a kickoff by Dowling. And it's a short kick, and it's fielded at the 34-yard line by the Dragons. 1st and 10, Johnston from their own 34-yard line as we have 1:39 remaining here in the third quarter. John Chido will go down to him on the Dowling sideline. How about this, Johnny? Both quarterbacks for Dowling, Dante Cataldo and Jake English, have both thrown 2 touchdown passes each, and 3 of them have been caught by Carson Brown.
Yeah, Carson Brown's having a night, and Jake and Dante have been complimenting each other very well tonight, mixing and matching when they're both have been in there.
All right, you'll stay with us here, Johnny, as a running play now by Johnston on first down from their own 34. They run out of bounds across the 35. And how about that last reception by Carson Brown? Matt and I were talking about this. He actually ripped it out of the defender's hand while he was coming down. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, Carson, ever since the Southeast Polk game, when you remember going back then, we had those 2 first plays were thrown to Carson, and he didn't really go up and high point them. Ever since then, every ball thrown to him, he's been high pointing them, and he's been taking charge, saying, "This is my ball," and he's been going after him.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened a lot in coaching, if you will. 2nd and 7, Brodus now the Johnston quarterback running downfield, and then throws it out of bounds incomplete at the 40-yard line. So we'll bring up 3rd and 7 for Johnston. Dragons trail 31-3 to Dowling. Less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter, Matt.
Johnston or Dowling has a few new linebackers in there. Jimmy Wannick's in there. I know Coach mentioned him in the pregame,
yes,
how well he played last week. And so the front 4 is pretty much the same. And we have Wannick, and there's Joe Hughes in there yet. And so just a couple rotations in here as they go into the second half or late in the third quarter.
All right, here is Johnston. Brodus back to throw, steps up in the pocket, now being chased, now being wrapped up, and he'll be dropped. Carson Hagan and company surrounded him. Pettis in there also. Give them each a half a sack.
Yeah, they meet at the quarterback, and that's what they did. And Ralston Rumley in there with Hagan. So good push there from that defensive front, force the punt and get the ball back for the offense.
Loss of 7. It'll bring up 4th down. 4th and 14 for Johnston. And once again, the punter, Carson Hansen in. He'll stand back at his own 16-yard line. Good snap and the right-footed kick. Spiral gets it away, and Dowling has it. And that is Cooper Nicholson at his own 35, and he bowls his way up to midfield. Nice return, about 15 yards on the return. First down Dowling at midfield is where the Dowling offense will take over, and we may see some new numbers out there here, Matt.
You might. And I want to go back to what Johnny said about Brown. I think, he's exactly right. We did not see that in that first game, but ever since then, he has gone up and got the ball at its highest point. It is fun to watch kids mature and learn how to play the game as the year goes on.
I think that happens a lot during the week in coaching.
Yes, it does.
And they see film. They show film to the players, and then if you can learn from it, you got a bonus. All right, the Maroons with the first down at midfield. Jake English, the quarterback. And the give is to Cam Middleton, looking for a hole, trying to cut it outside. He does, outside left tackle, and he gets up, or rather down to the 45-yard line of Johnston.
And that's the end of the quarter. So it was a pretty quick quarter. A lot of ball. The ball's on the ground quite a bit.
Matt, we're not even at 9 o'clock, and normally we start the fourth quarter at 9 o'clock. It's 8:40 here in Central Iowa.
Well, last week I don't think we get the game started till 9 o'clock, do we? It was after 8. It was 8 o'clock.
That's because of a tie-up on I-80 for the Council Bluffs team. We'll take a break. We're at the end of the third quarter with the score. Dowling 31, Johnston 3, along with Matt Mandring and John Chido. I'm Mark Amadale, our studio producer, Jeff Biggett. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio. 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines. 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines. 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And welcome back to Johnston High School as we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Dowling now with a first down is Adam Townsend in there, the third running back Dowling has used, and he carries all the way down to the 36-yard line. Before that, Cam Middleton on a 3-yard carry set up the Maroons for a third and about 3, and Townsend picks up the first down. Everybody's getting in the game tonight, man.
Yeah, we want to give him a rest on defense, and Adam Townsend comes in on offense, going to.
All right, English back to throw, and he's looking for Carson Brown. He throws it downfield, incomplete. Both the receiver and the defender were bumping around, but the referees wave it off. Pass is slightly overthrown by Jake English, who has the wind at his back here in the fourth quarter, and it's incomplete.
They took a shot there with the wind, and Jake was pressured and had to give it a little bit of a high release on that football, so it did carry on him a little bit. But second and long here.
Yep, 2nd and 10 now for the Maroons. Dowling with the ball on the Johnston 36. Dowling leading 31-3. We'll get you caught up with some scores here when we get a moment. And handoff, Townsend again, and Adam puts his head down and crosses the 35 down to the 32-yard line. And starting captain as a linebacker, and he's a third tailback. And you said his average got hurt a little bit when he was brought in the first half, Matt. Is that true?
I think it might have been because his average was pretty high. He only had a couple carries. Both for scores, I believe. I don't remember how that worked out, but his ratio of touchdowns to carries was really good.
It was, and we'll have to work on Coach Seifert about getting that number adjusted maybe favorably. We'll see. Hey, he's in your math department. We should be able to work it out. All right, here's an inside handout. Here's Townsend again. He's inside the 20. He might go. He will. Touchdown, Dowling. Townsend from 32 yards. He's got his average back up there, Matt Mandring.
He's got the. He is a touchdown machine, and it is fun to watch. He explodes and runs hard. He's got quick feet.
He's got quick feet, but he waits for his blockers. Yeah. That left tackle for Dowling, I don't know if Rockers is in there and Batterton at left guard. I don't know if they're still in there, but he waited for that block, and then he punched it upfield.
Yeah, he did, and got the crease. Flew through there and set the Maroons up for another score.
All right, and the extra point good by Diego Leon. So Dowling now tacks on 7 more. It's 38-3 Dowling. 10:21 remaining fourth quarter. We'll come back. We got to get down to the Dowling sideline. We'll talk to John Chido when we return here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Someone asked me a question the other day. They said, Chris, if you can go back and talk to your 35-year-old self when your kids were a little younger and you were a little younger, what would you say? I said, You spend so much time and energy, Chris, when your kids are little, at building up that life you're dreaming of having, that ministry you're dreaming of having, that career you're dreaming of having, that it's easy to overlook the fact that life is already upon you. You're living it. You're in it right now. There's a great saying that life is what happens when you're making plans. Listen, it's necessary to make those plans and to strive in life. Don't get me wrong. It's necessary to work really hard if you're providing for a family, but don't get so lost in all that you forget that the dream you're working for is here, now, under your nose. Take the time to stop and enjoy it, or you miss out on the most important things in life. They're sitting around your table. They're in the car next to you as you listen to me on the radio right now. Soak it in. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com.
And we're back here at Johnston High School as Dowling extends its lead to 38-3. Adam Townsend, yes, the starting linebacker for the Maroons, on a 32-yard run, and he scores. And it's Dowling in charge, 38-3. Kickoff by Leon goes into the end zone. Touchback, there'll be no return. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. John Chido catches up. How about Townsend, man? He had a pick six and a touchdown last week, along with a touchdown from the running back, and now tonight he's got another rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I like the way he runs. He runs hard. He runs north-south. And, you know, Dowling's offense caught Johnston in a three-roll, meaning they had three receivers split to the wide side of the field. They rolled the safety down over to the trip side. So once you break that interior line, there's nobody back there to stop him. And Townsend hit that hole, and it was a great kick-out block and was able to get in the score.
All right, thank you for that update, John Chido. Is back to the ground game is Johnston, and they're going nowhere. They tried to run left, and they couldn't get their tailback turned, and he goes backward. Menson Martin going nowhere. That last drive for Dowling, Matt, 6 plays, 50 yards, and Townsend 32 yards for the score. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kai Woods there on the stop, senior, and he came in and got a good stop there for the Maroons, and no gain. The 5'9", 240-pound senior made a play.
And as you mentioned, we have the running clock. Dowling up by 35 points. And, of course, we found out last week, at any time during the game, if you're up by 35 points, the clock runs. It only stops during a touchdown or a timeout or an injury. Johnston with a 2nd and 12. They lose 2 yards on first down. And now Brodus wants to scramble. He does, right side, and he's going to be running out of bounds at the 25-yard line, so he'll pick up 7 yards. And he was escorted out of there by Ben Hugerich.
Yeah, he made the right decision there because Hugerich had a steam coming. And he, if he would have stayed in bounds, that would have been a collision. And made the right play. Those 2 yards aren't worth it at that point.
Well, if you joined us late, Johnston down to their sophomore quarterbacks after their captain and starter got injured early in the year as Jack Rutz tore his ACL. He was a jack of all trades, master of them all, and he's out for the year. So now they're down to 2 sophomores running it, and Brodus went the distance tonight, and he goes out of bounds. He picked up the first down on the quarterback keeper over the right side.
He does have some quickness out of there, and Brodus has a big upside. You can see why they get excited about him, and you know these games that it is a little early for him as a sophomore. He's going to grow, but it's going to set him up to be a potent threat for the rest of the teams in the conference coming down the stretch.
Well, Brodus with back-to-back 7-yard runs, and it's 1st and 10 Johnston. This time he gives it to his tailback, and he is swallowed up by the Dowling defensive line led by Hagan and company. And who else is in there? 91, Mata Brua.
Yeah, Mata Brua and Ralston Rumley again broke through, and he's a wrestler, and he's a kid that has dealt with some injuries last year. And, he hit the wrist, and it's great to see him out there making some plays this year.
I saw him at the grocery store nearest to Dowling last year, and he had a cast, and I said, what's going on? He said, I broke my wrist.
Yeah.
And then he had a battle earlier this year with his ankle, and he sat out a game, and now Ralston's in the mix. And you like seeing that because Adam Jack, the defensive line coach, loves to rotate players in. You put 4 down, and you like to have 3 ready, and we'll just rotate them in, keep everybody with fresh legs. And that's why we're calling sacks in the second half, Matt.
That's right. Quincy Ferguson comes into the game at the corner position, number 39, the 5'8", 170-pound senior. Good to see him out there as we start to see some new numbers out there.
All right, Menson Martin back in at tailback for Johnston. He started the contest. And then they took him out. Now back to throw is Brodus, the Johnston quarterback, staying in the pocket for now. Now he wants to run, runs to the right, looking for a hole. And he's going to launch it downfield, and it is underthrown and incomplete. He had a man open, but he couldn't get a whole lot on the throw, Matt, because he was being chased.
Yeah, and, that's one of those things where a little bit of that inexperience in that secondary rolled up and left the defender. You always say the deep is the deepest. Someone's got to be as deep as the deepest, and no one was back there with him. And if Brodus would have been able to get a little on that, it would have been a touchdown.
Jacob Simpson was the intended receiver for Johnston. So game clock continues to run, even though the incomplete pass. Dowling up 38-3 with 6.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Of course, John Chido will catch up with head coach Tom Wilson. It might have a couple players. Now the ball snapped over the head of the punter, Carson Hansen. Hansen in the end zone, kicks it, and he gets it off, and he's knocked down. And it goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It actually stays inbounds, and Johnston will down it at the 18. And I'll tell you what, Carson Hansen, how did he get that away
I don't know.
without it being blocked?
I don't know either. And I think that was Carson Hagen went up there and got a good lick on it as he was getting away. I don't know how he got it away.
Well, somebody smelled blood. First down Dowling at the Johnston 18, so a short field. I want to mention our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Dental Associates, Construction Professionals, Ashworth Vision, and, of course, Kemen. Let's go down to John Chido for a sideline report from the Dowling sideline. Johnny?
Well, that's twice Carson Hagen's. The play before that, he made Brodus throw the ball earlier when he broke the pocket, and Carson full steam ahead just was right in Brodus's passing lane and was able to alter that throw, and then right there on the punt. Wow, what a good job by Carson Hagen.
All right, Dante Caldo back in at quarterback, and he gives it to the tailback. And now we got to see how far down the depth chart we go, and that is Hunter Crushelo.
Yep.
Crushelo in at tailback.
Hunter Crushelo in at tailback, and starting to see a little excitement from some of those guys that don't get on the field all the time, and everybody wants to get in the end zone.
Yep, 2-yard gain right over center, second down and 8. Hand off again, Crushelo turned the corner on the right side, short side of the field, down the Dowling sideline, and he's run out of bounds. I'm going to spot him down right around the 15-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah,
so
tiptoeing right down that sideline and trying to stay in bounds, and unfortunately stepped out with just a couple-yard gain.
This is the time we talk about who we're going to talk to in the postgame show. Obviously, Carson Brown is one, and, of course, Johnny lines that up with help from a couple guys that were up here harassing us at halftime.
Okay.
Coach Metz and Coach Crandall, they were up here at halftime for, I don't know, they thought we were going to have drive-through service here.
Yeah,
I mean, I got a window right next to me up here at Johnston. Here's a handoff, and running with the football again is Crushelo. Hunter is a 5'8 junior, 170 pounds, and I spot him down at the 13 of Johnston for a gain of 2.
And holding on the play is going to back the everybody up here.
Yep.
For a 3rd and long, unless they decline it and make it 4th and 7.
Well, it's 3rd and 7 right now, Matt.
Well, I think it was going to be 4th down.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah. So they're going to accept the penalty. They want to take Dowling out of field goal range, I'm sure. They'll move the ball back to the 27-yard line of Johnston. So 10-yard holding penalty on the Maroons. That's spotted from the foul itself, and it'll bring up 3rd and 19 from the Johnston 27. Cataldo at quarterback, read option. The give is to Crushelo over right tackle, right guard, and plows his way down the 20-yard line for a gain of 7. Will bring up 4th down. The Maroons just trying to eat the clock.
We've got a lot of the yards back there from the penalty. Creates a 4th and 12. I don't think they're going to kick this field goal. It looks like he's going to keep the offense out in the field.
He will, as I see number 84, Michael Reichart, back from his injury. He's out there as a receiver. Also out there, Mikey McLean, number 9. They're at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Well, can't say top of the screen. We're not on live stream tonight. So it'll be a passing 4th and 12 for Dowling. Going forward is the Maroons. Here's the snap. Cataldo. He'll give it to Crushelo. And Hunter puts his head down to be shy of the first down and gets down to the 18-yard line, and the Maroons will turn it over on downs.
Turn it over on downs as the clock continues to roll. Johnston will run their offense out there and be able to get a few plays off before the end of the game. Okay, I got a couple scores here.
Go right ahead,
Update
Matt.
from Valley. It was 28-21 Valley in the second half.
Over Ankeny, right?
Over Ankeny.
Okay.
And Southeast Polk over Linn-Mar now 21-15 at Southeast Polk. And then
31-21. All right.
With a field goal. So.
Valley leading, or just expanding their lead.
They are. Jeff Pickett on the ball in the booth.
Oh,
there.
yeah. He's got all those scores. All right. Johnston with the first down. From their own 18-yard line, final 2.5 minutes of the contest, Brodus, it gives way to the other backup quarterback, and that is Daniel Grider, a 5'8" sophomore, and he keeps the football on a read option.
Read option, gets about a 9. They're going to give him the first down. 10-yard gain, and as this group from Johnston tries to scramble and wants to try to put some points on the board.
Maroons have held Johnston to a field goal tonight, and we appreciate all the scores tonight. Jeff Pickett back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios providing us those scores. And we'll have another round here in the postgame show. We want to keep that updated. Johnston will put the ball on the ground, straight handoff. Grider gives it to the tailback. Let's see which one's still in there as they've been rotating their backs, as Johnston. And off the bottom of the pile is their starter, Minson Martin.
Minson Martin comes out, tweaked his ankle a little bit, but he's going to stay in there. And Johnston's going to get about 2 more, maybe 3 more snaps.
Martin, another sophomore in that back. All their skills tonight, 3 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a senior for Johnston. Back to throw is Grider. He fires it left side and
incomplete. And Jimmy Wanek, that ball got about as big as a beach ball right there because he saw it coming and was going to, and almost had a chance to pick it off, and it would have been a pick 6. And he's going to watch that on tape and say, I could have had that one.
Yeah, that's he was involved with that last week, too. Final minute of the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 38-3 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, and John Chido. Stay tuned for the postgame show. We'll catch up with head coach Tom Wilson. And Grider's pass is caught, and that's Aiden Askelson with the reception, the 6'1 senior, and makes the grab just shy of the 40-yard line.
Dominic Quinn, number 10, the 5'7", 130-pound junior for the Maroons, makes the play there, gets the stop, and good play by him.
5-yard gain. Brings up first down. 30 seconds remaining from the Johnston 39. Read option to give it to Martin. And,
the ball came out. Ball came out.
They're going to call him down.
I don't think anybody's called down yet.
They did. The umpire said Dowling football. Maroons recover the fumble at the 44-yard line of Johnston, and that should do it. Dowling will, as the clock will continue to run during the exchange, and the Maroons will take over from the Johnston 43 on the Martin fumble.
And they will not have to snap the ball. That's going to be the end of the ball game. So as the clock winds out, solid performance by the Maroons tonight, start to finish.
Well, the Maroons move their record to 3-3 on the season. Johnston will fall to 2-4. And congratulations to head coach Tom Wilson. Dowling Catholic, they're now 3-3 on the year. And they will be home next Friday night. We'll have it on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ames comes to town, and we were working on the Ames score earlier. They were in Council Bluffs tonight, taking on Dowling's opponent last week, Council Bluffs Lincoln. We hope to get a score from there. But Ames and Dowling tomorrow or next Friday night, and it'll be Parents' Night for the Maroons. And we'll be bringing the game right here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. So, John Chido, I know you're going to catch up with head coach Tom Wilson. Your thoughts from the field as we get ready to wrap up our contest and go to the postgame show. Johnny?
I liked how late in that second quarter, or midway through the second quarter, where it was a big turning point of the game when Dowling just took over. And it was, they were stalemated down inside the red zone, went for it on fourth down, and then the 2 big turnovers set up the scores, and it was all Dowling from there. That really impressed me. And, the offensive line for Dowling took over at that point, and they were able to establish a run and just pound 4 or 5 yards at a pop.
And Johnny, you're down there on the field, on the sideline. I know the defense rotates that interior line and maybe sometimes the linebackers and such, but does the offensive line get rotated? That's a little bit different animal. And Coach Pollock, who, by the way, was off a day or two due to having surgery. And
he had appendicitis.
Appendicitis.
Yeah.
And, Johnny, do they rotate the offensive line much?
Not much. I mean, you see Navarro and Batterton. Those 2 guys will rotate, but for the most part, unless somebody gets injured, it's those guys.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. We're going to we're going to keep it here, and we'll go to our final stats. I want to thank Jared Seifert, keeping the numbers in a different room down the hallway, I'm guessing. Or they have you on the roof? No, you weren't on the roof. I wouldn't think they'd do that. All right. Dowling, 342 yards of total offense for Johnston, just 90 yards. The Maroons had 76 yards passing and 266 yards rushing. For Johnston, 42 yards passing and 48 yards rushing. The Maroons forced 3 turnovers tonight as Dowling had 22 first downs, 8 for Johnston. The Maroons were penalized 6 times for 72 yards. Johnston, 8 penalties for 86 yards. Jake English, 5 of 8 passing, 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Dante Cataldo, 5 of 7 passing for 18 yards and a pair of touchdowns. For Johnston, starter Adrian Brodus, 4 of 11 passing for just 2 yards and 2 interceptions. Rex Woodley came in, the old halfback pass or the flanker pass in Rex's case, 1 for 1 passing, 35 yards. Leading rusher for Dowling, C.J. Phillip, 18 carries and 94 yards. Cam Middleton, 17 carries and 85 yards. Adam Townsend, 5 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. Cataldo, 5 carries for 22 yards, and Crutchlow, 4 carries for 12 yards. For Johnston, their leading ball carrier was Mason Cornwell, 10 carries for 28 yards. Carter Callan, 1 carry for 11 yards. Leading receiver for Dowling, Carson Brown, 6 catches for 56 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cooper Nicholson, 2 catches for Dowling and 24 yards and a touchdown. For Johnston, Manna, 1 catch for 35 yards. Popsa Hill, 1 catch for 5 yards, and Ackelson, 1 catch for 5 yards. Again, the final, Dowling with the win tonight over Johnston, 38-3. The Maroons with a total yardage of 342 yards, 90 yards for Johnston. And that'll wrap it up. We're going to go to our post-game show. I want to thank Jared Seifert for providing the numbers to us tonight, as he has all season long. We'll take a break, along with Matt Maindring and John Chido. This is Mark Amadale. We'll be back with the post-game show. Interviews from the field coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Hi, this is Matt Wilkham, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. I'm grateful for so many family members who stepped up and pledged your support during our fall carathon, as we seek to be fully funded for the rest of the year. We're still looking to reach our goal, and matching dollars are still available. Give now by calling 515-223-1150 or donate online at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you for helping Iowa Catholic Radio connect listeners to Christ for 15 years.
It can be easy to look at how someone is dressing or acting and judge them. But have you ever thought about how much grace is available in these situations? The next time someone makes a questionable decision, instead of judging and condemning, uphold their dignity for them. We do greater good by lifting them up in prayer and respecting their personhood than if we mentally tear them apart in our thoughts. We can uphold the dignity of others even when they are unable to recognize their own value.
We're back here at Johnston High School alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, John Chido. He's getting set for interviews. The clan is starting to gather by that one microphone on the field, Matt, and we'll catch up with him. Jeff Piggott back in the studios providing us some of the scores that we've been passing along. One final, that's here at Johnston High School. Dowling 38-3 over Johnston. The Maroons avenged a loss last year, 18-15 here on this field. And the Maroons come up with the win. They move their record to 3-3. Johnston falls to 2-4. And John Chido, we're going to send it down to you. I know you've got players lined up. We're going to start with Chase Patton, the Dowling nose guard. I think you have him all lined up. Go ahead, Johnny.
Chase, first of all, congratulations on the win tonight. Defensively, you guys dominated from the start, only giving up 3 points. And defense has been the strong point for you guys all year. Tell us about the keys coming in this game, what you guys were going to focus on.
If you are tuning in to the Dowling Catholic Johnston football game, the Dowling Catholic Maroons defeated Johnston 38-3. We're having some technical difficulties for the post-game show, but please stand by, and we hope to reconnect to Mark and Matt very shortly.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Kemin.com. Thank you, Kemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Johnston High School. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandering, John Chido. Apologize for the technical difficulties. We got booted off the air.
Again.
I know, twice. And normally we haven't had that problem, but sometimes the bandwidth is shared by a lot of people. As we look in the parking lot, everybody exiting.
Yeah.
Slowly here at Johnston. But a nice crowd. And
trying to get home to the Hawkeye game.
Well, yeah, that's about over, too, I think, the way Iowa's playing. My goodness, they're playing very well tonight. Final score here, 38-3. Dowling leading Johnston, or defeating Johnston. Maroons improved to 3-3 on the season. And last report was 7 minutes remaining over at Valley Stadium, 31-28. Valley leading Ankeny, and Ankeny is currently the number 1 ranked team on the Radio Iowa poll. So keep that in mind. And so we have that, Matt. Maynard, you got the scores to report?
The only other score that's been updated is Urbandale kicked another field goal. They're up 12-10 on Centennial now. Southeast Polk pulled away from Marr 28-15, and the last score I had was Ames up on Lincoln 16-10.
That's Council Bluffs Lincoln.
Yeah.
So
Council Bluffs Lincoln.
All right. Well, to recap here, Dowling had had 4 touchdown passes tonight, thrown by both quarterbacks. Dante Cataldo, an 11-yard pass to Carson Brown, and he had an 8-yard pass to Cooper Nicholson, all in the second quarter. And then Jake English, an 11-yard pass to Carson Brown, and a 15-yard pass in the third quarter to Carson Brown, all for touchdowns. So Carson Brown caught 3 of the 4 touchdown passes thrown by 2 Dowling quarterbacks. Adam Townsend ran it in from 32 yards. That gave Dowling the running clock in the second half, and the Maroons win it 38-3. In between all that, Diego Leon, with no time left, kicked a 23-yard field goal as we went to halftime, as Dowling led 24-3 at halftime and won it 38-3. John Chido back with us here as he makes his way up. John, sorry we can get to interviews. We did lose our connection. So we heard the conversation with Carson. You and Coach Wilson, and who else was out there? You guys were all, Carson was describing his catch.
Yeah. I asked him about, like we talked about in the broadcast about since the Southeast Polk game, he's been high potent the ball and going up there and being more aggressive and not letting the defender beat him to the punch. And I said, is that something you guys work on in practice? And he said, yeah, every day they've been working on that. And I said, that's just awesome to see. And he just has done an amazing job. I mean, some of the catches when you're down there on the field and you're watching that is just that. And you got to give the quarterback credit, too, because they're putting that ball in places where only Carson can go get it. But he's still making plays.
And you credit the coaching staff. That's done throughout the week. Ryan Van Veen is the receivers coach at Dowling, and he and the quarterbacks coach and all that working together. You can see there's a lot of progress since last month, since August.
Yeah.
And they need that, because we talked about, we lose Louis Brooks last year. He was that playmaker, and Carson's that next guy in that's going to be that playmaker, that guy that's going to give you that breakout play, and he these last 4 weeks, he's really has come to play.
Yeah, he has, and it's not, because he's not going to be a guy that's going to run away from you. He's got good speed, very good speed, but he's got a leap, and he can go up and get the football, and that's what's really impressed me about watching him over this last month.
That's certainly been fun. Well, the Maroons now have their final home game of the season, even though they'll be back the following week against Valley, as both games will be at Valley. But next week, home against Ames. Parents' night next Friday night. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, and the following week against the Valley Tigers, who are winning over number 1 Ankeny tonight at Valley Stadium.
And an update from Council Bluffs. Council Bluffs Lincoln is now up on Ames 24-16.
I'm guessing somewhere in the second half.
Yeah, third quarter. Okay. Third or fourth quarter.
Okay.
Sure.
So
does Taman Lipsy still play football, or is he all basketball now?
All basketball now. He played his junior year at quarterback after coming out the sophomore year with an ACL, but not out this year.
Okay.
And, of course, Ames has a new head coach, Coach Saucer, who was at Grinnell for many years, now took over at Ames. And, they're trying to put the program back together, but Dowling will see them next Friday night. Maroons, they're back to level playing field. They're 3-3, Johnny. How important is that as you look towards the playoffs?
Oh, it's huge. And, 32 teams in 5A and 16 teams make the playoffs, and you go 5-4, and you're really counting on things to happen for you. You want to control your own destiny, and even 6-3, I would assume you'd be okay, but you just want to make sure you finish strong, and each week is a playoff game. I think Matt mentioned that last week.
It is. You look at the number of teams. There's 36 teams in Class 5A, and only 16 make it. So that's a small number, and they do it by RPI, your rating system based on your games and your opponent, how their strength of schedule. I like it, but there'll be some teams not make it, and you don't want to be one of them, and you don't want to wait till week 9 to figure it out either, do you, Matt?
No, you don't, because you're sitting there, and week 9 for Dowling is a kind of a big game. I don't know if anyone ever goes to that game, but Valley game, and
that's week 8.
Oh, that's week 8.
Waukees
that week 9 game, yeah. So that game going into week 9, that week 8 game is looming large right now as a big one for the Maroons.
Certainly is. All right. Well, guys, any final comments before we wrap things up from Johnston High School? They're kind of looking at us like they
I think that, the one thing I will say was it's one of those moments that you see in sports, and you see Coach Bossum walking off the field hugging all the coaches, and you've seen a couple of players walk up to him and give him a big hug, and he was a relationships guy, and we do miss him, and he will do good things here for this program and help these kids out here too.
Another coach who saw that happen too was Coach Rami when we had the scrimmage with Centennial. I bet half the Centennial squad came over and hugged Coach Rami, Dowling's kicking coach, who was up Ankeny and led them to state titles, had numerous kickers that are playing in the next levels, college and high school. He had the same response, and I said, some of those guys didn't look like kickers, Coach. He said, I taught a few of them in the classroom too, but they didn't look like kickers to me. I mean, you got guys wearing number 78 and 65, and I said, your kickers look a little bit more smaller than that. So he said he had him in the classroom. There you go.
Wow.
Jeff Pickett, Ankeny 35-31 over Valley. So what a game that is. Johnny, any final comments before we wrap things up?
I like to see Dowling's offense get going there late in the second quarter. I mean, it was from the beginning, and they get stalemated there, and you want to see them finish drives. And I imagine Coach Wilson's frustrated they didn't get to finish those drives and put those points up on the board, and came away with 4th and short, not being able to convert. But then the turning point there, and the D-line took over, and you kind of seen that coming with inexperience up front for Johnston and playing a lot of younger guys, a lot of guys being injured and stuff like that. But it was nice to see the offense getting going tonight.
Yeah, and we had
the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, and we had some empty possessions. We were knocking on the door inside the 20, inside the 30, and turnover on downs the first 2 possessions offensively in that first quarter. Yeah. And he talked to you about that at halftime a little bit, mentioned that, finishing drives, being more consistent, and just didn't have that early.
Consistency is the big word you want to look at, and especially this time of the year. This is where you're really finding your identity of your ball team and being able to figure out what works and what doesn't work and your strengths and weaknesses, and you want to be able to have that tuned in by Valley or by the time the playoffs come around.
Well, they'll have another opportunity next week as Dowling hosting Ames at Valley Stadium. John Scheidel, Matt Maindring, thank you for what you do. Matt, get home. Your wife needs you. She's recovering from her injury that she suffered in volleyball.
Yeah, playing volleyball.
You have to ask Mary Beth Wiskus about that. Has she had any not ACL? Has she had any Achilles issues?
Yeah.
So, Lisa, if you're listening, hang in there, and Matt will be home. You got takeout ordered, right? You're going to
I'll find something.
You'll find something. Yeah. He's going to stop at Quick Trip and pick up something. That's
microwave burger.
But I was just thinking of that.
Come on, get on that phone, Matt. You can order online now. Come on.
Yeah.
So, our thoughts with Lisa as she recovers from that Achilles. Remember a coach not too long ago, Coach Cataldo had that too, and he coached during the season with that apparatus he had on. Remember that?
I seen it happen, and it seemed like nothing happened. And then when he went down, and just the look on his face and the pain and agony, I can't imagine, Matt, what Lisa went through and dealing with that pain, because I've been told it's very, very painful.
It's very painful.
That's an upset. Centennial leading Urbandale 16-12 with time up. Unfortunately, we got to run tonight. Matt, thank you. John, thank you. We'll see you next Friday night.
You bet.
And that'll wrap up our broadcast here from Johnston High School. Our thanks to everybody involved with the contest, including their athletic director, Josh Toby, head coach Brian Woodley, and the folks from Team One Sports. Coach Mr. Sparks does a tremendous job helping us with our broadcast. Randy Sparks did a great job. I know we got cut off, and he's getting the bottom of it right now. I see the look on his eye. That should not happen, but we appreciate all they do. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night, as we mentioned. It'll be week 7 of the high school football season, Friday, October 8th. Ames at number 10 Dowling. Join us for the broadcast here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And pregame the rest of the year will be at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. The remaining schedule for Dowling all here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. For my broadcast partners, Matt Maindring and John Scheidel, this is Mark Amadale for our studio producer, Jeff Piggott. Thanking you for listening. Final score for the final time, Dowling 38, Johnston 3, the final score here from Johnston High School. Until next week, have a safe and blessed, faith-filled weekend from all of us here at the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Bozeman the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.